Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Retro Rank Rhapsody. This episode, The Adventure of Link. This episode we're going to be taking a look at a game that I have been really wanting to take a look at for a while. The game, being Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. It's a pretty big departure from the first Legend of Zelda in many ways, but we'll get into those differences when the game actually starts. So with that, let's get on to the episode. So, we are taking a look at Zelda II today. But first, one thing that I kind of want to just go over real quickly because, so this is episode 53. Technically, I'm kind of considering this a new quote-unquote, so basically it means we've been going for half a year already. So every kind of 3 months, I kind of want to do a little bit of an update to kind of get some fixes that I've been wanting to do in. So I just kind of wanted to go over them real quickly. Really, for this, there isn't a whole lot of difference in terms of it's going to have the same flow, but there's some slight changes to how things are. I guess marketing probably is not the word that I'd want to use, but. You will notice that there's a new logo right there. Also, kind of introducing the idea of... So you will see I have 6 characters that I've kind of created to kind of act as avatars for each of the lists. Each one represents 2 different lists. So if we take a look at the thing I had for the intro, right here, you will see... I'm pointing my mouse, but that's how I'm doing anything. You see underneath 53, I got a little head there. So that is the head of Lila. And Lila is, if you can take a look at this image, she is the representation of the adventure and planning list. So basically it's like, oh, hey, this episode's going to have adventure content. So basically that's kind of what I'm doing for that.
Or planning content.
Yes. They won't. It's not like it's just going to turn into some massive role play thing. It's just I'm using those as little characters to kind of give the show a little bit of character. Also, so I'm not using copyrighted content for logos and stuff, so I can actually put it on shirts and not have to worry about getting sued.
All right.
The other change that's more prevalent to, I guess, the actual show. Is I've made some changes to the sub rankings on the list. So these lists right here, the ones that we give the A in like all these rankings. Just kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit because I always felt a little bit that they were kind of not really well defined, and they were just kind of like, I kind of feel like it at the moment. So I wanted to give them a little bit more concrete, like, okay, this means something. And maybe we're probably not at that quite yet, but basically the sound's kind of the same. If you go to r3.ldp.life, which if you want to see this list, if you want to see it, I guess, in person and not just on the stream, you can go there. I've updated these metrics to kind of show what they're supposed to show now. If you go here, you also notice there's now 2 different rankings, or 2 new rankings. Upside down A, or I guess turn A and turn E, which I was thinking, I'm like, oh god, it's like that Gundam thing, except then I forgot that's actually what they're called.
Yep. Yes, it is.
So... Yeah, basically what those are is that you think of a game, like if we go to the resist list, something like Trio the Punch. Trio the Punch we gave like a style of A, even though that game is a kind of a nightmare in certain ways, and it's just a kind of a complete affront to taste, I guess. But it does it in such a good way that we kind of wanted to give it a high ranking anyway. So basically those are what the turned rankings are. They're kind of... Technically, this doesn't fit they're not doing it good, but also it's doing it in a way that's quite enjoyable. So, style...
So it's the very definition of so bad it's good?
Pretty much. For example, for style, turned A, so bad it's good. Like, if we take a look at the XP list, Mr. Bones, style, turned A. Other thing, like thinking of... like a turn E style. If we go down to the resist list again, game like Tenpei or Genpei Tumiden, which was just such a nightmare to play and just to look at, turn D. So stuff like that. Also, I've made one change to, like, say, I've kind of more defined approach to basically kind of determine whether or not the game is more obtuse or difficult, because I felt like for difficulty you're like saying, oh, okay, this is a little bit harder, let's give it, or it's really hard, let's give it an E, maybe it's D or not. D is for games that are hard or difficult, E is for games that are obtuse, F is for games that are both. However, you have cases like Tower of Druaga or Castlevania 2, that their games are complete nonsense unless you have a guide with you. In such a scale that it's kind of noteworthy, so that is why they have given turn E. For approach, I believe for turn A would be something like, I kind of want to say something like I Want to Be the Guy, or maybe even La Mulana. Like games that they're hard, but that's kind of the reason you play them. And God, I kind of hate that I'm saying this, but think of a game like a Souls game. Like, they're intentionally difficult. Part of the enjoyment of the game comes from the difficulty. So yeah, that is kind of some of the things that I've been working on. But
I wonder where, if you ever do it, where Takashi's Adventure or whatever that
Takashi's Challenge?
Yeah, that infamously bad game, but bad because literally the person making it hated games. I
think it would be an experience, even though it's kind of not. Yeah, we'll get to that game when we come to it, but yeah, that's just I just wanted to kind of get through that real quick. So now on to the actual game. So Zelda 2. It is obviously the sequel to Zelda 1. This game is quite infamous because rather than say, like, oh, we'll just make Zelda 1, but more so, kind of like what Zelda is kind of infamous for nowadays, they completely changed the way the game played. And I would say deviate from formula, but there was only one Zelda game at this point. So who knows, like Zelda 3 might have been like a racing game at some point. But yeah, it's a complete deviation in many different ways. So rather than kind of explain what ways they deviated, let's just go ahead and actually get into the game. So, originally a Famicom Disk System game, like its predecessor. I was thinking about actually trying that version. However, the version that you'd want to try is the, US one, because it's the one that's more playable now. So, let's go ahead and just get that version started. Also, I will go ahead and say this technically is not the... This is technically not the original release of this game. I'm actually using a revision that was found on the GameCube. There was a Legend of Zelda collection that came out, if I believe you pre-ordered Wind Waker. Or it's there. Yeah, it was
I can't tell you if it was with Wind Waker, but I do believe that it was a bonus. But technically speaking, I can't remember if it was built for that or if it was the revision that was included with Animal Crossing as one of the NES games that you could dig up or use an e-reader code to get.
I don't think that Zelda 2 was one of those. I know Zelda 1 was. I don't think Zelda 2 was, though.
Oh, wasn't?
No.
Oh.
So, right there, that scroll, and also you can see 2003. There is one change that they've made, and we'll get to that when we actually get into the gameplay. But basically what that scroll is saying, the story of this game is basically Link, and this is also the only Zelda game in which Link's age was actually given. He's turned 16 after the events of the first game. And basically what happens is he looks at his hand, and he finds that he has a Triforce mark on his hand. So he goes to Impa, who is kind of the guarding over the Princess Zelda that you rescue in the original game. And she basically sees the mark, and she explains,
there's another one.
Yeah, there are two
We
Zeldas
got
because
Prince Zeldas.
the actual Legend of Zelda that the original is referring to is that basically the story is that, and you can find this in the manual. Basically, that there was the original Princess Zelda, and that basically her brother basically made some deal with I think it was Ganon, to like try and take over Hyrule. But in the process, Princess Zelda ended up going into an eternal sleep. So basically, no one's been able to wake her up. And basically, at this point, since you killed Ganon, the only way to do so is to get all 3 pieces of the Triforce, which are hidden in a palace somewhere that is currently guarded by some, I can't exactly remember, but basically, we got to go find all the pieces of the Triforce, and we have 2 of them. We need to find the Triforce of Power that was located in some palace that's in northern Hyrule. The problem is that Ganon's minions are pissed off at you and want to revive Ganon. The only way to do so is to basically take your ashes and basically light them on fire.
Makes sense.
And that is how you apparently revive, or it's something with your blood or something like that.
Like the blood on
Technically
fire.
speaking, if you've got a piece of the Triforce carrying around with you, and they want to make their wish, they need the piece of your Triforce.
I guess, but I remember
Trick you into making the wish for them.
I remember blood being involved somehow, and I forgot exactly how.
Do you think it would be in Hyrule Historia? Because I've got the book right here.
How it would? I would imagine that. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's sprinkled Link's blood on the ashes of Ganon is what it is. So yes, I knew ashes were involved in some convoluted way, but yes. So one thing you might notice is that right next to my name, there is a level or there are levels. That is one big key difference between this game and the others. Well, let's actually just get into the game. So this is basically a fresh save. Also another difference, we have lives. Because this game is a side-scroller. It's a side-scrolling platform game. At least in certain aspects, because there's also an overworld map.
What's this, Okay, so here's the thing. Zelda was developed by which team at Nintendo?
R&D 1. Oh, God damn.
Okay.
You know what?
So this wasn't their first foray into 2D adventuring, was it?
I don't think so. Well, it might have been. Yeah, it's not the Metroid or Kid Icarus teams.
Did those come before this? I think they did, didn't they?
Yes, they did, because this, I believe, was January of '87. But yeah, so there is a leveling system, and
Platform RPG.
yeah. So the way that this leveling system works is that basically you have 3 stats. Each are given individual, like, you will level up, like from here, you will level up life when you hit 50 XP, magic cost 100, attack cost 200, or cost 200. So I could go ahead and level up life now, but I don't want to. So basically, I'll have my 59 XP.
Right. So when you're wandering the overland map, what are those weird blobs in here?
Those are random encounters.
Right.
If you step onto a... Oh, also one other thing, that if you're familiar with newer Zeldas...
Yep.
So, all the towns in this game were basically when they made Ocarina of Time and named all like the special sages, all of their names came from town names from Zelda II.
They didn't just use them in Ocarina. Wasn't Kakariko already in this?
No, there was no Kakariko.
Really? Oh, I could have sworn that Kakariko also started here.
It started in Link to the Past.
Hey.
Also, if all else fails, use fire. That's not going to really play a part until much later. Also, if you talk to these women that are wearing red dresses, if you go into their house, you will get fully, like, you will have all your life restored.
It's not just the red-dressed women, it's also the blue-dressed old ladies, right?
Orange, but there aren't any in Raru. So yes, also every town has a, well, here. Yes, and we will learn stuff that is very important. So this is one of the so basically what you learn is you learn also 1 second.
What happened?
Oh wait, no, I'm using the game. Okay, for a second I thought that I was using a different version of this game. That I had to quick check. So yeah, I learned the shield spell. Basically what the shield spell does is it I don't think it doubles your defense, but I think it definitely increases it. At the cost of 32 magic. So each of these, so think of each pip of that health bar, or that magic bar at the top, as 16 MP.
Oh, I don't remember children being in Zelda 2 at all.
Yeah, it's because you don't really need to go in there unless you're just actually looking for, like, the text. So, yes, we want to go west. Oh. That's convenient. Oh, actually, before I go there, one secret that I kind of want to find. Okay. So, like the first game, you have a sword beam. This is actually like one of the weakest sword beams that Link has ever had, because there are a lot of enemies in this game that just do not, like, it just does not even affect them. It's still the same strength as your normal sword slash, but a lot of it just, like, you just block it.
Yeah, I think that's neat that when you encounter the enemy, the map that you get is based on the terrain, and if you encounter them on the road, you just get
It's
nothing,
safe. Okay,
which is a neat touch.
So this is what happens when you go into a cave with no candle. You can kind of see enemies that are on the ground kind of move. You'll see like a... so that enemy just dropped a magic jar. I believe it is every 10 enemies. Enemies will drop either a magic jar or an EXP bag. I'm going to try and go for attack first. So yes, here's a magic container. Okay, let's see. I believe these enemies are called... I believe the red ones are called bots and the... No, it's the red ones are called bits and the blue ones are called bots.
Yeah, I think it counts how many steps you take to spawn monsters, because like as soon as you step off the road, they just appear or something.
It does, it is based on steps. Here. Oh.
Yeah, and there's more aggressive spawns later too.
Just to show it off. If I can get lucky. Come on. And one more time. Okay. Sometimes if you're playing with a thing that could rewind, you can actually, if you want to drop an EXP bag, you can get it to drop one by kind of rewinding. Because it's based on, I believe, frame. Also, I want to go over here real quick because there's something nice. However, there's something very unnice right here.
Bubbles of death.
So,
Hell yeah.
this game has death pits in it. As you can imagine, in a game of this era, death pits are instant death if you fall in them.
Why else would they be called death pits?
Makes sense to me.
It's not like they didn't have the thing where if you fell into like lava or something that you didn't just get warped away.
Oh yeah, it blew our minds when Link to the Past came out. I was like, wait, you can fall in a pit and not die?
Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. PS1.
I thought that got, for some reason, got requested at some point, but sure.
Bear really loves Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. For the PS1.
Yes.
I think I played that once.
So one of the things I mentioned that in the Famicom Disk System version that there were some changes that were made. One of them was actually to this the song that plays whenever you're in a random battle. It's a lot less intricate in the Japanese version. So yes, there are technically 7 dungeons in this game, compared to the original's 9. Although there is one thing there is an area that you could probably count on as a dungeon on its own. Even though it technically doesn't count as one because there's not like a boss at the end of it. And we're... Whoop. God damn it. Okay, Stalfos. So yeah, a lot of the bigger enemies in this game, or especially ones you get when you get into dungeons, there's a lot of the combat in this game is very much whether or not you are attacking an enemy high or low. And it's actually relatively intricate compared to like things that were around at the time.
I had no idea this was also a fighting game.
Also, one thing about these that's kind of annoying that they did add to the US release, there are a number of enemies in this game that if you hit them, you will lose XP.
Really?
Yeah, these little knights, for example, if I were to get hit by one, I would lose 10 XP.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Also, these bubbles. This was the first game for bubbles to actually, work like a normal Zelda bubble, so that you would lose MP. Granted, because this is the first game that you actually had MP. So these guys take a long time to kill, but it's kind of good to try and grind a few of these out, because once this thing eventually dies,
I didn't know these things could be killed.
they get 50 XP apiece.
Ooh.
And they respawn if you walk out the room, so they are very...
random.
Yes.
Once your attack power goes up, that should be a lot easier, right?
Yes. Also a lot of fighting enemies in this game, especially ones that... because enemies in this game are actually very good, at least ones that don't have like melee. Like if they have some sort of range attack, they're actually very good about keeping their distance. So getting a rhythm of like getting a bounce off of like the enemy actually is kind of something that helps out a lot.
Neat.
There we go.
Oh yeah, elevators.
Yep.
I love the music in this.
Yeah, it's a really good level theme. Oh, God damn it. See? I was losing XP before I rewinded. Or rewound. Okay, one other thing that's actually, at least I find interesting, even though it's actually kind of annoying. Certain attacks you cannot block with your shield. For example, maces. Because it doesn't matter if you're blocking it, like, it's a big heavy object, so you're not going to be able to block it with your shield.
I had no idea Hammer Brothers were in this.
Yep, I believe that this enemy's called a Guma. Also, sometimes if you hit an Iron Knuckle statue, it will drop a red magic jar. Red magic jars, I believe they actually heal, they give you twice your maximum MP. The reason they give you twice is because if you were to... Oh, here's the P-Bag. The reason that they give you twice your total MP back is because you can use magic while you are, like, it's not instant, like it will fill up. So you can use magic while it is filling up, which is really nice once you have the spell that heals life.
Yep. I love this game.
Oh. There we go. Okay.
Of course, sometimes when you hit the statues, they actually like vomit out knights.
Yeah, it will. Those don't really appear until later, but yes, some of them will just have an iron knuckle inside of them.
Which is awesome, because it's like the person that happens is like, whoa!
It is also really nice because, I mean, it's a decent chunk of XP when you find one. Because, so if you're playing this game fresh, you might come across an iron knuckle and it's like, oh wow, this guy's actually really hard. However, there's a way that you can mitigate iron knuckles incredibly easily. It really, any enemy with a shield, because there's more enemies with shields than just iron knuckles. You can, enemies with shields, you can kind of, there's an exploit that you can do. But, there we go. So, oh. Okay, there we go. That should help. So, so the thing with that I'm doing with attack, there is a big change that was made to the EXP system in this version from the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, when you hit like an XP, you could just pick whatever you wanted to level up. So there wasn't a cap with that either. So if you wanted to go straight to 8 attack, 1 magic, 1 life, you could. There's a repercussion to that though, because if you game over, it would revert all your levels down to what the lowest level that you have is. So in that case, if you game over, you're going back to level 1 for all your stats. If you were to say balance it out so that you're like 4-2-2, they would all go down to level 2. Also, here's the exploit. Jump hit him in the face.
Nice.
So was that an FDS only thing?
Yes.
What happens in the NES version?
You basically lose all your XP. Is the only thing. The thing with that though is that the XP, like the amount you would take to get to the next level, is a lot higher in the US version. Although they scaled, I believe they scaled the XP to make it so that that's not a huge issue. Because it's not like in the Japanese version you're getting max level like halfway through the game. It's more the fact that I'm trying to think. It's more the fact that it's just a way. It's more less limiting, but also it can screw you over a little bit more if you die.
Do you not have what's the word? Do you not have downstab yet?
No, that is something that you got to learn, and that is something that's really nice.
Upstab and
I know you gotta learn it, but I left for a bit, so I forgot if you already.
No,
yeah, you gotta
we're not going to learn it for a little bit.
All right.
You definitely have to beat the first level in order to get it. Well, technically you don't have to, but it is. It would
Do
be,
any of the? Go ahead.
It would be suicide to not. Because you'd be going through a lot of caves without a candle, which would not be easy.
I mean, speedrunners make it look so easy, though. But yes.
I mean, it's a speedrunner, so yeah.
So did the FDS versions of either Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 actually use save data?
Yes. Both versions had saves. Also, I really want to get. So basically, the thing is that you want to go in. So the boss of this level is in the next room. You really want to make it so that if you were getting your XP or like trying to like level up properly, you want it so that you want to level up from the boss. Or at least be very close.
Because otherwise the rest of the XP is wasted.
Yes, because you will get a free level when you beat a level, and it doesn't matter how much XP it is until the next. Oh crap! How much is that going to put? Okay, good. So, like for example, that's kind of what I wanted to do. Also, here's the first boss. This is Horsehead. Mazura, I believe, is his name in Japan. One other thing that they kind of took out in the US release is that the boss would roar in the Japanese release.
Horse is well known for roaring.
Yeah.
Didn't want to give US children the false expectation that horses roar.
Also, what's...
However, Japan is quite happy lying to Japanese children. Or Nintendo's happy to lie to Japanese children.
One thing I do kind of... One thing I really like about this game is that this game has a really good sense of weight.
Yeah, it does. It feels really good for a side-scrolling brawler of the NES era.
Yes. So there we go. Yeah, it was a FDS channel roar, so that could be one reason that they didn't have it. Also, the little that little roar thing that when you go into a random battle is also different. In the Japanese release, it's kind of like a little tune. It's like a da 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 da.
Oh, you forgot to smack the iron knuckle on the face on the way out.
I do not believe those will ever drop anything. Also, the only thing I would get from that is a full magic, which I already had full magic, so...
Okay, right. I think some of them will spawn guys.
It's the one at the beginning are really, like... I believe it's actually random. That after a certain point, you will, get a random iron knuckle. Also this... Whoop.
Did the FDS version make it a little bit more forgiving whenever you fall into a pit?
No. Which actually reminds me, I could actually show off the difference between the GameCube version, and hopefully this will find out whether or not I did pick the right version. They changed the death animation. Let's watch it real quick. So that's the death animation that is the GameCube release. So let's just kind of illustrate what the difference is. So I'm actually going to frame advance real quick. So go over frame by frame. So just to kind of explain what it would be, because I don't want to show it off because it's actually really bad looking and will give you seizures, or could potentially give you seizures if you're not careful. Thank you for the raid. So if we frame advance to the first red here. So it would be, so here's what would happen. You would have a red screen. Next frame would be entirely green. Next would be red, blue, red, blue, or red, green, red, blue. Frame, that's one frame. So it would be this seizure-inducing nightmare. For
a couple seconds on this. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So the GameCube re-release was essentially a toned down for epileptic attacks.
Yes, and I believe they changed the intro text to make it a little bit more grammatically correct, and those are the only changes they made. The funny thing is, though, is that for some reason the 3DS version is just straight up the NES version, so it has the seizure death. Yes.
Oh,
horrifying.
Which kind of threw me off guard when I first saw it. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they did not change that. Which is great because I did not play this game a whole lot as a kid because that screen scared the ever-loving shit out of me. But yes, also, I am Air.
Alright.
It's true.
That will. So there's a reason why he says his name, and also there's a whole thing. Also, it shows you where. Also, it's nice just because they actually tell you stuff in this game, unlike the first game. Also, so that trophy that I got from that cave, which was a goddess statue in the original, that was a side quest, because this is the first Zelda to have kind of fetch quests. But they're not, it's not like the huge chain that like started in Link's Awakening. And that is actually how you get your magic most of the time.
I don't know. Doesn't delivering the meat count as a quest in Zelda 1?
Kind of, but it's really it's not really a chain. Although again, they're not chained in this one. I guess you could consider that a fetch quest. But yes, the spell that I just got, Jump, does exactly what you'd imagine it would do. It makes you jump higher. Specifically, I believe that one doubles your jump height. And for some reason, because the thing that what your magic stat does, basically what that does is that as you level up your magic, your spells will start to cost less and less and less. Jump, for some reason, has the weirdest curve where it will start out incredibly expensive and then go on to be your cheapest spell.
Well, eventually it becomes like slightly pointless.
Yeah. But usually they kind of stay like relatively the same. Like shield usually costs like it doesn't like it's compared to other spells. It will always like have the same relative cost. Oh, goddamn. You know what?
This is an excessive amount of boomerangs.
Yep.
There can never be too many boomerangs.
I mean, I've watched that one episode of Sherlock. I think
okay,
one boomerang is too
that
many.
isn't too many boomerangs. That's
too
that
many
asshole camera
boomerangs.
angle being too much.
They killed a man with a boomerang. In a nutshell.
Also, the reason that you need to get Jump is because if you go right here, not get hit by the egg. Also, red eggs. If you let them kind of get to the ground, they will turn into like this bat-like gargoyle creature and shoot fire at you. Fire being one of the things you can't block with your shield.
Yeah, you're off. It turns.
Also,
yeah, you get boing.
Yeah, Jump, it doesn't really have an animation. If you have shield on, it will turn your tunic red. Also, both Jump and shield only work for one screen. Also, go over here.
Hey, when you have some spare time, can I read some of this shit? Because I just realized that the Hyrule Historia actually includes everything about this plot, and it was more fucked up than the summary you gave.
Okay, right now would be a decent time because there's not going to be a whole lot happening for a little bit.
Okay, so according to the chronology of this is after Ocarina of Time's bad ending, or essentially
the hero's
Link
ending.
loses. Yeah.
Oh, also, one thing I will say real quick. Yeah, you'll kind of want to go into that forest because I'm doing this out of order. But if you go in here, you will find Bagu. So here's the thing with Bagu. He is Error's brother. And people were wondering, like, oh, why is his name Error? Is it meant to be like Errol? Like Errol Fill-In? Or like something? Why is his name Error? Or was it like a string error? Or... No. It's meant to be Error because it's meant to be error and bug.
Ah, that makes sense. Error and Bagu.
Oh.
Yep.
Bagu because they didn't translate it properly. Also, these enemies really suck because they are one of the enemies that will steal XP for you, only if they do contact damage, though. So you get hit by that fireball, you just take damage. But if one of them flies right into your face, you will lose XP.
How much XP did they steal? 5 per...
10.
Oh, it was 10, never mind.
Also, Butter Town of Saria. Eyes of Ganon are everywhere. So here's the thing that happens in certain towns after this point. I believe it only occurs if you talk to people who wear blue, except for this person. Also, oh, this is the one. I lost my mirror. So this is where we get the magic for this town. Also, okay,
I don't think it's like all people that are wearing purple, and I don't know if it's like in every town.
I found a mirror under the table.
Hooray!
Of course, where else would you store your mirror?
This is not the worst side quest, or this is oddly enough not the dumbest side quest to get magic in this game. The funny thing about that particular side quest is because this is probably the most important magic in the game.
Fairy?
Nope.
Oh.
Yes. Life. This is the only way outside of dying to heal yourself. And it is the second most expensive spell that you'll ever have.
Wait. Isn't there a potion that can get dropped?
Nope. Or the potion will only heal your magic. You will never actually get a health upgrade.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
It's absolutely
Wait,
true.
no. There's a different thing that heals you whenever you die, isn't there?
Yeah, you lose health, or you gain your health back when you die. Also, well, technically, also leveling up your health and also getting a heart container will heal you. But those are a lot, less
Those
harder
are
to do off. Yes.
I just could have sworn that there was an item that you could collect that when you died, instead of actually taking away one of your 1-ups, it would just immediately get consumed and heal your life.
Fairies.
Yeah, not in this game.
Is that not what fairies do?
Oh yeah, also fairies. No, you don't. The fairy that you don't get the 1-up fairy in this.
Oh.
I'll check later.
Oh, you can help.
What does the Hyrule Historia say?
Oh yeah, also because we are approaching the area that's not a dungeon, even though it technically should be a dungeon. So we have time.
The Water Temple.
So what happens in this, according to this takes place... Let me just look at the chronology again so I can triple check that I have it right.
Also, this is...
Ocarina of Time's Link loses.
Mm-hmm.
Then an era of light and darkness happens, and essentially there's 3 games that take place in this time period. Where are you?
The Dark Souls series happens
No.
in this.
Link to the Past takes place immediately after Link loses an Ocarina of Time, then Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and then Link's Awakening. After that, some ridiculous crap happens, apparently, where Hyrule is prosperous. So it goes, the prosperity of Hyrule, ever since the crushing defeat of the Demon King Ganon, each successive generation of Hylian kings used the Triforce of Power, Wisdom, and Courage, passed down by the royal family to preserve order in the land. Those who wielded the Triforce were required to possess the unique characteristics of having been born with a heart free from wickedness, and they used the Triforce to help the kingdom expand and flourish. So essentially, Hyrule starts to recover, apparently.
Okay, also, one thing I would just point out that the reason why this area kind of sucks so much is this enemy that's about to appear.
One of the axe-throwing enemies?
Not throwing, not at least in this form. But this is... So this guy, the Daira. The thing with those that you want to... do with those is when you come across an orange Daira, run right into its face and just hit it. There's a rhythm that you can get into to hit it. You do not want to stop that rhythm because you are most likely going to get an axe in your face if you do so.
Makes sense.
I don't remember them hitting particularly hard, but maybe I'm misremembering.
They hit pretty hard for this area. Except not nearly as bad as the red version. Because remember what I said about enemies keeping their ground? It has a range attack and it knows it. Also, that's how much the axe does. The thing with the red Dairas is that you kind of want to, if you know that you're going to get hit, go into, like, try and run into them because contact damage does a lot less than getting hit with the axe.
Oh wow, that healed you instantly. That was cool.
Yep.
Yeah, level ups will always heal you instantly, which is why some people try not to level to max before the end of the game.
That makes sense.
What
Should I
happens
continue?
in the Historia if Link and Ocarina of Time is successful?
I think
Ocarina of Time
that's
being
its
successful.
own. Like, that's like, isn't that Wind Waker?
Hold on. One of them is Wind Waker, but I think there's another split there. Okay, so when the hero wins, there's two branches. There's the child era, where Link goes back and, does the whole Majora's Mask stuff.
He dies.
He essentially disappears and the kingdom is without his Link. And that follows Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures. And then there's an adult era where obviously the hero goes back and doesn't stay in the future, but the timeline's been saved. Like, the idea is that the child era is Link goes back and they execute Ganon. Like, don't actually deal with this man, kill him, and they succeed. The other one is Link saves the world and that timeline continues to exist even though Link leaves it. But it's been saved. But it's already had the, Hyrule was filled with Redeads for a period of time. Zelda and Impa stay behind. The sages are all spirits, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is the one that follows Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks, apparently.
So Spirit Tracks is the conclusion that we go from boats to trains.
I guess so.
We give boats wheels.
Hyrule Historia, unfortunately, didn't exist by the time that the other Zelda games that came out afterwards,
Yeah, because
Breath of the Wild and
haven't they gone and said that actually that's not even correct anymore?
it probably isn't, but let's pretend that it is
Aren't
for the sake of
connected to
this.
each other in any meaningful way.
I mean, there's no point in having chronology in a story where every single story is a legend. Like, they don't have to make sense. Anyway, so...
But also, going back to the point of where it actually ties into Zelda II.
That is fair. I'm going to
Where
read
does it
the
go
Zelda
with
2 stuff now. So, there was apparently one great king of Hyrule who had put the Triforce's power to use, but was concerned that it would be abused after he died. So in order to prevent this, he hid the Triforce of Courage, placing a spell over the land of Hyrule, and the magic ensured that a crest would appear upon a worthy person who had been properly raised once they had reached a certain age and gained enough experience. So I guess this is why the mark shows up on this link.
Yes.
Though the prince and young princess were already heirs to the throne, the king of Hyrule had his doubts about the worth and character of his son. Seeing more promise to Princess Zelda, he passed on the Triforce to her in secret. So this is what happens to the cell that is asleep here. Following the king's death, and with no crest appearing upon the hand of the prince, the power of the Triforce he had inherited as the new king was incomplete. The king was advised by his closet confidant, a wizard, that Princess Zelda seemed to know what was behind these events. Despite being interrogated by the wizard and her brother the king, Princess Zelda confessed nothing. The wizard lost his temper and threatened to use his magic to cast a spell that would cause the princess to sleep for all eternity, but she stubbornly refused to talk. Once the wizard had finished casting his spell, Princess Zelda crumpled where she stood. So, there's a picture attached to this. No actual description, but essentially, it's a picture of a baby prince fucking whipping a person in the middle of the street with Zelda begging him to stop. So,
I bet you...
It didn't happen.
Actually, I'm actually kind of curious. Because I actually went and... Because there's something that I wanted to check to see if it was in the manual or not. So I have my manual real quick. I wonder if it's in here.
The prince has a big nose and brown hair. I don't know if that'll help.
Yes, and there is the. Yes, I see it. It is definitely in the manual.
All right. Congrats on seeing fucking public whipping. Great. So.
The hell is with this time?
It's the age of light and dark.
Also,
apparently.
We got a hammer.
Hammer.
Now we can get out of this area.
So, the wizard was apparently a close confidant to Zelda's elder brother. He died after using the last of his power to lay the curse upon Zelda that made her sleep. The true nature of the man was he stubbornly honed in on the secret of the Triforce, but nobody knows the true nature of the man. It's possible that he is an offshoot of Ganon, much like Aghanim, or merely one of his followers. Good, great, thanks. Thanks, little info blurb. So, the legend of Princess Zelda I. Mad with grief and regretting what he had done, the young king placed his sleeping sister, Princess Zelda, on an altar on the North Castle in the hopes that she would someday be revived. To ensure this tragedy would never be forgotten, a custom was established that decreed that every girl born into Hyrule's royal family would be given the name of Zelda.
Yes,
so,
I remember that. Yes, that North Castle is where you start the game. Also, this is what hammers do. They break rocks. And you go into this rock.
A waterfall.
Please.
You love the slide.
It's a really good visual effect. Yeah, I love it.
So, yes, there is a match container down here.
Hell yeah.
Also, a little bit of something that I didn't notice until it was pointed out. If you kind of take a look at this area down here, it serves zero purpose. However, you kind of take a look at just the kind of general layout of the area. This is Southern Hyrule. This is the area that the first Zelda takes place in.
Wow.
It's amazing how big Link has gotten.
It's the left side of Death Mountain, isn't it? Or
yep, because the dungeon that we just went through is Death Mountain, and you have no idea how many times I've game over to these stupid Octoroks.
They're the veteran Octoroks. They fought before.
Can you change direction in midair?
Yes.
Slightly.
Does the hit in this, is it based is the knockback based on your facing?
It is based on your momentum.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not gonna work. Alright.
No, you can't like exploit it, so like it's not like Ninja Gaiden or something. Yeah, it's not like Castlevania where you can do that. It is very much your momentum.
When are they going to give Link the vampire killer?
Here's the last time that we fight a Daira in the entire game.
Really?
Amazing.
Yep, there we go.
Alright.
There's nastier things.
I could have told that there were more in some other dungeons.
There are enemies that are similar, but not those.
So anyway, after this dumb bullshit happened with Zelda falling asleep, apparently no one appeared who was able to wield the Triforce, so Hyrule divided again and again, continuing to shrink. The proud kingdom of Hyrule had once covered a vast area of land, but the passage of the ages saw its decline and eventually shrank into a single small kingdom. Though the Triforce of Wisdom continued to be handed down from generation to generation, as the long years passed, the existence of the Triforce of Courage and the tragedy of Princess Zelda the First were also lost to memory. So apparently, this shrinking is what makes it so that only the southern part of Hyrule was Hyrule. So that's fun.
True.
Makes sense.
Oh. Also.
Church. Find Jesus.
The funny thing about that is actually, so before they came up with the whole thing of like the Trinity of Goddesses, the intended religion of Hyrule is supposed to be Christianity. Also, so now that we jumped into that church,
yeah,
there are two of these guys in the game. They each teach you a sword technique. So now I can do this. This is incredibly important.
Yep.
It is a very useful.
Both these guys are hiding too.
Yes. This one not as much.
I'm gonna skip the plot of Zelda 1, but apparently everything is as you said it was, with the whole sacrifice Link, put his blood on his ashes, on Ganon's ashes, etc. Okay, here we go. Apparently this is 6 years after the last Zelda, and Link has been around helping reconstruction up until all the monsters came out again and decided, I want to resurrect Ganon! So...
Okay, so we need to find medicine.
So the mark appeared when he was 16 years old, right. Impa apparently only remembered about the story when she saw the mark. So that's why this is happening now.
Also, now that we have a hammer, we can continue back to the main area.
The door was locked and could only be opened by Link once the mark appeared.
Huh.
The door to the White Castle, or the North Castle.
I kind of want it to be a White Castle, but I know it's probably not.
Sweet sliders.
So yes, here is exactly why the tower thrust is so good.
Oh yeah. Well, those little spiky guys, their hitbox is specifically set up that they're unhittable without that move.
Yes. Also, one other thing with the downward thrust is that you can kind of, like, you were wondering if you could change direction midair.
Yeah.
If you position yourself just right and switch positions when you're on top of an enemy, each time you switch position counts as a separate hit.
Yeah, that's why you dance around like a goofball.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Oh, you know the opening scroll? Apparently that's an actual Hylian, like ancient Hylian scroll that only Link could read because of the mark on his Triforce also.
Sure.
I don't know. It says right here,
That's
the
why the
scroll of the
grammar's
royal
terrible.
family, left behind by the King of Hyrule after his passing, the scroll was handed down by Impa's line. Despite being written in completely unfamiliar script, Link is able to read the scroll as though it speaks to him. I don't know.
I'm going to say that's probably a bunch of bullshit, but okay.
It probably is, but apparently the scroll and the 6 crystals were things that Impa gave to Link. Like the 6 crystals that you've been putting in all those statues,
Yeah.
you were given those by Impa after, you went into the castle and saw Zelda first.
That's it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you got the crystals just kicking around in the closet or whatever,
These are the precious heirlooms.
Also, did I
And
do
also this piece of paper
Okay, I
I can't
didn't.
read.
So there is actually, because it just reminded me of some speedrunning thing. So this game, and the thing is, I also don't know how to do it like consistently. One thing that speedrunners do in terms of like changing direct. Oh, also I was wrong. There is this room upcoming is the last time you see Dairos.
I'm almost sure you're gonna fight another one.
Yeah, he's gonna fight one in this dungeon.
No, I mean another one later on, much later on.
It's fine, it's just an orange Daira.
There we go.
So the scroll said where the
Also,
Triforce
now that we have the downward
Explorer
thrust,
is.
hold on. Let's see if I can do this properly because.
Oh, you're gonna try to bounce forever?
Nope. God damn it.
Damn, Bear, you really own Loco in his book.
God damn it. Also doesn't help. I also own that book. I just haven't read it in a while.
I mean, I didn't write this at all.
Yeah,
I'm old.
See, that's the thing is that the downward thrust is actually more your enemy in this room because you will get knocked into that lava pit. Oh god, or just walk straight into it.
That skillful gameplay that I come to these streams expecting.
It's a downward thrust with your legs into the lava.
I suppose. I got damn it.
So this is goofy. So you're going to get the Triforce of Courage by entering all these dungeons. All these dungeons serve as a kind of test to make sure that only worthy people enter.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why they didn't just stick somebody in there. Unless Dark Link is actually supposed to be a minion of Ganon, but I don't think so, right?
No, he's not, because Dark Link, we'll get to Dark Link when we get to Dark Link.
But the point is, they could have just waited for you to enter and then
those
come in.
birds really suck. Because
birds?
they are those.
They take XP.
Oh, those.
Yeah, they take XP. Also, just a little bit of trivia. Those things are called Mobies, and they appear in the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
Hell yeah.
I didn't realize they were birds. I thought they were like little dragons or something.
Nope, they're birds.
Okay.
They're called Mobies.
Assholes, what
Fucked
they
up
are.
birds.
Maybe I'll, assuming I get to the art section of this, I'll get to see those. Let's see. So the Great Palaces, blah blah blah. Oh wait, the Great Palace is a completely different place.
Yeah, the Great Palace is the last dungeon.
Oh, okay. So Thunderbird is guarding the actual Triforce, and then the things that happen later have nothing to do with the defenses, apparently.
Yep.
All right.
I see.
This is dumb.
Oh, also. There. So yeah, now we're gonna start to get to the point where those things will drop magic jars. Oh, also these these things, if they drop blue, they will spawn a bit.
But this doesn't make
The
sense.
blood fountain.
Oh, also blue Stalfos will not jump on you.
So, I don't know about you, Lolo. In all that I've read, what part of any of this says that reviving Princess Zelda from her slumber prevents Ganon from being revived?
I don't think it does. I think they just want to do it just because they can.
Yeah.
I get that they want to because they can, but the end of this says, Peace in Hyrule. Link, having obtained the Triforce of Courage, used the Triforce's power to awaken Princess Zelda I from her slumber. He thus prevented Ganon's resurrection and restored peace to the land of Hyrule. I'm lost.
Well, yeah, he prevented it because he's not going to get sacrificed and you know, have his blood burnt or whatever.
I mean, he could still get sacrificed after Zelda's awake.
And,
One other difference from Japanese version: these enemies right here are just Doctor Rocks.
Oh, they use Dr. Rocks instead of whatever these snaky piranha plant-looking guys are.
The piranha plant from Smash 4 or Smash Ultimate, whichever Smash.
Ah, yes, they
referenced Legend of Zelda II.
I see. That's how it was working. I wanted to say something like they future retconned it, but that doesn't make any sense. So. Yeah, this doesn't say that he has to die. It just says that they need to sprinkle the hero's blood over his ashes. Like, all you need to do is accidentally cut yourself out here in the dungeons, and then they should be able to revive Ganon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, you see, once Zelda's awake, Link no longer has blood.
See, the canon in this is that if you do fail, then Ganon comes back. This is the famous laughing Ganon. And
they need a lot of blood. They need like a whole body's worth of blood.
Gallons of the stuff, even.
Okay, well, at the end
and
of
even
this,
that may not be enough.
At the end of this thing, assuming that they decide to reuse the chronology from Hyrule Historia for any reason, it says, the power of the gods has been restored to Hyrule through the courage of a young boy. Did generations pass full of peace and the light of prosperity? Or did the curtain rise on an age of darkness when people quarreled in their search for power? The future of this timeline has yet to be unraveled. So it's another way of saying, hey, you, who thought you were so smart, thinking about, like, maybe he just pricks his finger once and they revive Ganon. Fuck you. Maybe you're right. Who knows? We don't care.
Yeah, because
we sold you this book. We have your money now.
Yeah, because this is the ending of that timeline, because it's... although I wanted... Because, yeah, I think with Breath of the Wild, they went ahead and, like, it was either, they're actually, that's complete, not, like, that actually isn't true anymore, or there's actually a fourth timeline somewhere.
Yes, the infamous
if
fourth
Link pricks
timeline
his
where...
finger in Legend of Zelda 2, and they use the blood to resurrect Ganon, that's what causes Breath of the Wild.
I actually
Makes perfect sense.
The timeline split where Link pricks his finger immediately leaving the door.
I mean,
Ah,
there
Splinter.
is that one skeleton that you can find in, like, the desert or whatever, implying that Breath of the Wild happens in the CDI timeline.
I don't
No, the
think
CDI
that...
timeline was like Link hit his head really hard one day and went into a coma, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
that's-
honest. The book Hyrule Historia does not mention the CDI games at
There-
all. It
gee, I
just
wonder
mentions
why.
that-
I wonder why.
Freaking coward.
I actually wonder.
Dream a
if-
dream.
Actually, I wonder. Who owns the copyright on those? Does Philips own it, or does Nintendo own it?
I don't know.
Maybe both.
Maybe. No.
Maybe they both want to just pretend it doesn't exist.
That's the reason that's the truth, but it actually they're gonna somehow tie it into those air fryers that they're selling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that the two games that you have to know are not canonical for some reason. You apparently have to know this. Are Link's crossbow training, because there's so much plot in that one.
Yeah.
And, the BS Satellaview Zelda.
Oh well, yeah, that's.
They're the only ones that they're like, yeah, these games are not part of any chronology.
Well, that's also that's because that's technically using licensed characters from Bandai, so. Because the playable
BS
character,
Satellaview uses Bandai characters?
yeah, because the playable characters in those aren't Link. It's or at least there's a mode in which you can turn it so that because you can change characters. Also, you can find red jars and those things. Actually, I don't need those. But yeah, you could play as either the boy mascot or the girl mascot.
I didn't know that Bandai owned them.
Yep, it's maybe not Bandai, but they were the ones that had, they were the ones that created this Satellaview, so I would imagine if it's not Nintendo, it's them.
Yeah.
Also, do I have enough keys yet?
Okay, so when are you gonna bomb some Dodongos?
There are no bombs in this game.
Or Dodongos.
That's also one of the things that people I've heard not like about this game is the fact that there are no items. It's all magic. And just your sword. Oh, also red iron knuckles, which are just as much of a chump of the originals.
Well, there are items in the sense that you can collect some things for trade, and the hammer, the break rocks.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. It's not like, oh, I could use the boomerang against the Senmur bombs or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's not all magic. There's the downward stab. That's not magic.
okay, there's two stabs, but also we got the handy glove.
Okay, I guess next question. Could you eat an Octorok?
Maybe he does that off screen.
Link just going to town on an Octorok, making takoyaki with an Octorok.
Great, he'll grab his stuff.
Goes to the bathroom, drops a rock in there.
Okay, now that I have that, so the item that I just picked up, the handy glove, basically what it is that I can now, if I find some, there we go. God damn it. Damn it. Okay, they're not in here. Oh, here we go. Also, these hurt. Oh, it's annoying to deal with. So yeah, I can break those now. What's especially great is because they tend to make platforms out of those blocks, so that if you downward stab too much, you will just plummet into lava.
Not so clever now, huh?
That's not a good prize.
It's a good prize if you're not a coward.
Okay, so...
No, I don't. I mean,
Let's go left or right.
what are you talking about, Harrison?
I'm calling you a coward is what I'm calling you.
Because I don't want to bathe in lava?
Yeah.
I see. Don't see what that has to do with bravery.
Wow, so those dumb goblin guys don't drop anything.
No.
And they suck XP out of you if they hit you.
Yep.
Alright, stab the statue!
Nope.
Nope, nothing on this one. All right.
Rip.
Wrong statue.
Those slime guys. You don't think they can jump that hard.
Also, the thing I hate about it, the fact is that the life for most of the levels tends to hover at 60. So you will cast it, and there will always just be a little bit of the bar left.
Rude.
But they couldn't just round it up and do 64, so it's like, yeah, it takes 3 bars. Well, no, it takes 4? Yeah, it'll take 4. 16 times 4. Okay. Oop. Oh, also one other change from this version to the Japanese version. So you see how this dungeon's blue?
Yes.
In the Japanese version, except for I think 1 are white. So they'll share the same palette as the first level. They only added additional colors in this one.
142.
Also, here is the boss of this level. It is basically the same as Horsehead, except for the fact that he will kind of... Well, actually, he's also a lot easier because he doesn't, swing at you. He's actually really easy.
What's his name?
I believe that I think it's just Helmet Head.
So creative.
Wow, there's pretty much no drawings for Adventure of Link in the Hyrule Historia art book section. It's just a bunch of Links, a bunch of Ganons, and a bunch of Zeldas.
Which is, well, there was an Adventure of Link comic book, and the manual had a whole bunch of illustrations in it.
Yeah. It's a shame that they didn't use like those or something.
Here we go. Oh yeah, like the Valiant comics. Okay, let's see.
I still think the high mark for Nintendo art books is the art of Splatoon. That's a good book. Well worth it.
Okay.
Alright. That's all the Adventure of Link content in that book, so I'm done.
I just remembered one thing I forgot to talk about was there is a trick that speedrunners can do. The thing is that you would never be able to do this on an actual NES controller unless you broke it in some magnificent fashion. But if you were to hold down left and right at the same time, the game completely freaks out.
Are we gonna do a TAS?
Yeah, there's a reason why the TAS of this game is 5 minutes long.
Seems reasonable.
Because you can warp straight to the last level. Like, not even the last level. You can warp.
It's just like the Crash Bandicoot 2 or 3 one.
Wait, it just occurred to me.
Also, I just realized I can't do this quite yet.
It just occurred to me. A Joy-Con has buttons where it's like that.
I wonder. Actually, I wonder if they. Yeah, now that you say that.
Can you make a non-tool assisted Freak Out Zelda 2 run?
You would have to get really lucky.
So I just had to chime in. I saw that. By the way, hello everyone. I had to chime in here about the comment that there was no art for the Zelda 2. Funny story, when I was a child, I had a shirt that had art from Zelda 2 on it, and it became young Lolo's favorite shirt.
That shirt owned. It was a blue shirt that just had, I think it was, the cover of, I want to say it was, almost the art that was, on the box cover of, the Japanese version.
That is correct. That was what was on it.
But yes, that I did love that shirt. So yes, here's what this. So here's the magic here, the fairy magic.
Ooh.
The fairy magic turns you into a fairy.
All right.
Very handy, aka the key magic.
Yeah, because that's the other thing that's not the intended use of it, but what you can do with it. For some reason, they made it so that fairies can go through doors. Locked doors.
They can fit through the keyhole.
The problem is that you can kind of screw yourself over by doing that. Also, you kind of want to avoid getting into fights at graveyards as much as possible, because they're probably one of the worst in the worst areas to fight in the entire game. Because
especially if you don't have the cross.
That's only one area that occurred. Oh no, I think that's more towards the end of the game. But yeah, just in general, because the enemies that tend to spawn there just suck.
The fairies also, I want to skip this entire room mode.
Pretty much. Although you can't attack. So if there's like rooms where if there's like a wall, like a block wall that you had to break through, you would just be stuck. Oh, also like the game does recognize that you're in fairy mode if you were to say for some reason go into a lava pit as a fairy.
Oh yeah, that kills you.
Yeah, you just sink down.
Well, you'll sink down, but also the little silhouette will be of the fairy, not Link. Also, oh no. Also, I'm kind of curious. Oh, and by the way, I've had this game actually break on me because I leveled up when going outside. Yep, there we go. So it is random. I've had it. If I have initiated a level up screen, as soon as I got out of the room, you can't interact with it. So the game just basically soft locks.
Hello,
Also,
are you playing this on our gold cartridge or no?
No, I am playing my totally legit GameCube version of this.
You mean my totally legit GameCube version of it?
Also not a. I'm using an emulator.
Oh, right.
Yes. Totally legit is straight for.
Yes, I ripped it. I ripped the GameCube disc myself.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
No, it is 100% legal. You are allowed to use it as long as you own the actual intellectual property.
I'm going to delete this from. I'm going to delete this from my hard drive in 24 hours.
Yeah, within 24 hours of you owning it, or last owned it, whichever. Does that mean that you can? Does that mean that you could permanently rent something, just constantly renting, putting it back, and be like, yeah?
Yeah. That was how most of the games that I played in my childhood were.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought Earthbound, and then I sold it again.
Yes, you did.
Seems reasonable.
I mean, considering how much I was going for, yes.
Considering I didn't have a job and I was broke as shit, yeah, absolutely.
Do you have the upward stab?
Nope.
Oh, never mind.
We'll be able to get that after this level.
Well, you have jump magic anyway.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that whether or not it was possible for you to get yourself stuck there.
Well, no, because the thing is that your jump is when you're just standing still is about 2 of these blocks high. But if you get a running jump, you can jump 3 blocks high.
Are there any places where somebody could get stuck if they didn't carry, if they didn't get fairy jump?
I'm sure there is, but this game does have the
this game, it gated you pretty well. That if you didn't have stuff, it would force you to go back.
Also, if you did actually just get completely stuck somewhere, you can do the up A on controller 2 thing to go force a game over.
Ah, right. But you need a second controller for that, so that's not something that every kid can do.
Well, you could unplug your first controller.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have to be at the pause screen.
Yep, you just have to up A on a controller in the second port. Doesn't matter if there's nothing in the first port.
Huh. Well, now I know.
Can't believe Metal Gear Solid stole that idea.
Oh god. Okay,
I'm just
Oh,
sad that
those
they.
bits are showing up now.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, I'm just sad that they didn't make Otacon actually a assist trophy instead of a spirit.
What would he do? Sit there and cry?
He has
Oh.
pants.
Pee his pants and you could slip in it.
What the thing that the assist trophy that it would be, considering they showed him as a spirit. Also, these enemies are the worst enemies in the game practically because they are an EXP stealing enemy and are just annoying to deal with. It would be Huey, and it'd be like when Coldman just knocked him down the stairs, and he would just be falling, and he'd just trip on him. It would be Huey just stuffing you inside the thing like he did his child.
Exactly.
I was thinking that if there were an Otacon assist trophy, and you really wanted to make it like hilariously terrible, you just make it so that it's an assist trophy that whenever he shows up, every female character on screen dies.
Hey Lolo, speaking of that, I got a question for you. What do you think the odds are that the Echo Fighter for Incineroar ends up being Zangief?
I would highly doubt it, but I would say that I would appreciate that.
Rainbow Mika or Zangief.
No, it's Incineroar. I don't.
Because of the burning lariat, it has to be.
I was gonna say, didn't they say the exact words in the direct? Right, Cyclone.
Yes, they did.
They did.
They also referenced. I was watching Maximilian Dude, and they actually referenced the Versus series, which he thought was insane.
I could have sworn that one of the screenshots I saw of Ken was his face from Street Fighter 1.
Yes, it was, and.
God damn it. So here's the thing that sucks about elevators is that you just kind of walk onto them, which means that you just kind of go up. Also, we know that the Echo Fighter of Incineroar is going to be Big the Cat.
Oh, Jesus.
That alt color.
Then again, that's what the color scheme is.
That alt color can't be an accident.
It probably isn't, but the more likely thing is that Big the Cat is going to be a spirit, and I really don't want to know what they decide to use for, like, Froggy. Because I'm just assuming it's going to be like... what's the most fish-like thing?
Also, here's the first time we fight one of these assholes.
A red Iron Knuckle?
No, blue Iron Knuckle.
Oh.
He can throw the swords?
Yeah. Also...
Yeah,
You mean
why you're
Rebanak?
the axe guys anymore.
This is not the one that's called Rebanak. We'll get to that one when we get a little sec.
Oh yeah, I suppose Rebanak is coming up.
God, I hate that name.
Why won't you die?
Let me get the raft.
There we go.
It's not even a very big raft, but, you know.
I mean, to be fair, there is a reason there's so many Iron Knuckles in this dungeon.
Is it because it's the leader?
Yeah. We'll get to that when we get to the boss.
The aforementioned Rebanak.
Still Iron
Everybody
Knuckle.
loves Ravenback.
God,
Spoilers. I'm sorry, this game is
This game is still over 30 years old at this point.
Yes, happy birthday, Lolo. It was
you.
Lolo's birthday on Monday.
Yes, it was. Also, the reason why, so yes, the name that they give in the manual for this boss is Rebanak. The thing with that is that remember how Bagu was Bagu instead of Bug?
Yeah.
In Japan, the boss is called Rebunaku, which is just Iron Knuckle in Japanese. So
Makes
it's just
sense.
Iron Knuckle.
Iron Knuckle the Iron Knuckle.
It's just the one that managed to find himself a horse.
Yep.
The
He
one
comes-
horse.
Like a floaty, like Dragon's Lair ass horse too.
He's got the carousel horse that he rides on.
So I think I might have gotten myself lost.
Lol.
No,
Hey Lolo, you're not coming out to the cabin for
No.
Thanksgiving, are you?
No, because I got to work on Friday.
No. I guess I'll just see you when I get up
Yep.
there.
God damn it! I hate this room,
This is not a fun fucking room. Excuse me.
especially since my exploit doesn't work as well.
Good thing you have all that mana to like heal yourself with.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, also one thing is that every time you use a magic, you kind of have to go into the menu to kind of reload it.
Oh, speaking of last week's episode of Triple R,
Yes.
I have to ask, did you watch the show yet?
No, I have not. I'm planning on doing it tomorrow.
Your sister watched the show and she loved it.
That's what you're saying to me. Yes, I have heard nothing but good things about it.
Oh, it was so good. And it sets it up perfectly for
For
season 3.
yes,
Whether it be
something
Rondo.
that would be you would want, or because I know that it goes into another. Like, they're going into the next, like, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because technically that's kind of a spoiler, so kind of want to, yeah.
Oh, well,
But-
here's your boy. And speaking
Yes.
of your sister, she just came outside. I'm going to step out. Y'all
Later.
have fun with this episode of Triple R, and talk to y'all later.
Later.
I can't believe we got raided by your brother.
Okay, yeah, this boss kind of.
Hello.
Hello. And also, the thing with this version of the Iron Knuckle that's different than the other ones is he will always do the, like, swarm of knives, I guess. Also, another really tiny detail that they changed from the Japanese release is that they made the knives flicker. For some
It
reason.
should just be a solid color.
Yeah, it should just be white. God damn it.
They're cool laser
here's the
knives.
thing that sucks with this boss is that he just keeps on going off the screen.
And his hitbox goes with him.
Yes.
You gotta wait for him to come back out. And then
You
you gotta
gotta-
chase him down.
Yep, you gotta go back and then do this and hopefully, yes, there we go.
I thought this guy's head was supposed to fly off and start attacking you on its own.
That's just the helmet head.
Ah.
Yeah, Lolo fought that guy last, but he killed him before the helmet really came back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Congrats on
helmet-
beating an Iron Knuckle.
There we go.
Yeah, the helmet came on like just as it died, so the helmet kind of
Actually-
floated over and then exploded, and that was real.
Actually, no, wait. I want to get an attack up. Okay.
Every single time you bump into that.
It's just I keep forgetting. I keep on thinking that it's the one that's over by Parappa Palace where that thing isn't right in your face. Goddamn Gorias. Ah, God. Well, now I guess we're technically halfway through the game at this point.
Pretty much.
You have finished 3 dungeons.
And well, 3.5 considering Death Mountain.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So yes, now that we have the raft, we can actually go to the next area. Which I think there's a village right outside. There's a village right.
There's a
Oh,
this-
right. God, look at... So those are the tech-type enemies from the original game. Like those spider ones. Those are meant to be the same creature, just from the side it just looks really weird. The thing with the... Another big change that I just remembered from the Japanese version to this version. Remember that hint that said, when all else fails, use fire? You can only hurt those things if you are using the fire spell. In the Japanese version, you don't. You can just hit them whenever. I don't know why they changed it, but they did, and it's kind of annoying. Also, this has the dumbest magic side quest in the game. I am thirsty. Want to get some water.
The laziest person.
You have water. You could have that lady and the fountain on the screen at the same time.
Oh, hey, the power's out. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It's not any water she wants. She wants Link's water.
Oh god. So yes. So yeah, the fire magic. Basically what it does is that it turns your beam into fire. Same kind of property as the beam. There are things that just don't take damage. Like, basically anything that would have armor. Jumping on. That is true. You do want to jump in a hole.
How does the kid know that?
I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Oh, another thing that, because I don't know exactly what town it is in, but, okay. There is and I think it might have been Saria, because in Saria there's a graveyard. If you walk up to one of the graves and, like, hit the sword button, you'll get a little message that says, Loto rests here. If you're not familiar with Dragon Quest, that's basically Erdrick. It's the main character from that series.
Well, why did it say Loto rests here?
Because they were making a Dragon Quest reference. That's it. It's just, for some reason, there's a Dragon Quest reference in this game. Okay. Oh, also these things. Oop.
These eyeball weirdos.
Yeah. Don't they steal your XP too?
I think those do. There's a different version that I know definitely does. Oh, also, right here.
A tiny man.
Oh, right.
Oh, a hidden one-up doll.
Oh, also one other thing is that in the Japanese version, all the items you have to slash in order to get to hit, or like to collect. Also, we want to go over here real quick. Because in here is Lizalfos. Oh, God damn it. So yeah, basically overworld or Iron Knuckles. There's a child.
Collected
Hell yeah,
child.
cave child.
Child gets.
So the funny thing about that in the original, or in the Japanese version, is you have to slash the child in order to get her. Just stab it right in the face.
Stab the child, yeah.
Fixed a baby. Oh, also one other thing with the hammer that really doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose, and I'll do it when I get out of this battle. You can cut down trees with it. There is exactly one time in this game in which that is actually useful.
Interesting. That's right, because there's a secret or something.
Yes. Well, a secret in a way that's required to beat the game and kind of annoying, but yes. Oh, so Over here, there are some forced.
There's the Octoroks.
Yep, there's Octoroks, and also so these are there's a forced thing up here. There's a trick that you can do in order to bypass these.
Oh.
If you get into a battle when you're right on top of it, you'll bypass it. That is incredibly useful in an area later on.
Oh yeah, that's actually yeah, you can do that in a lot of the places.
Yeah.
Well, was that the wall thing or?
What do you mean?
Just bypassed?
No, that is the no. It's just an area that it's just an area
with the death pits.
There's like a death pit at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
God damn it. So yeah, that's the thing that they warned about in Saria.
That some of the people turn into monsters.
Yes.
And some of them offer you hospitality.
God damn it. Whatever. So, I wonder if it's going to mention here. The palace has a false wall. That is true. But the thing is that, I cannot help you. Okay. I can't remember where exactly they say it, but... if we go over here.
Yeah, I think the clue is that weird chimney on top, because I don't think any of the houses have that.
There was one to the side that did. But usually you can't walk on the ceilings though. Also, one other change from the Japanese version is that the two people that teach you sword skills, they have the same sprite, but in this version they redrew them. So yeah, I can now do that.
Can't believe Mario RPG stole from this.
About how far in the game are you?
I am a little bit over half.
Okay.
Have you done 4 of the dungeons?
I've done 3 in Death Mountain.
Oh, okay.
And then
You've done the first half of the world, and then you traveled via raft.
Yep. And then let's see. So, yeah, the thing with you know how certain weapons will bypass the shield? Now that doesn't happen. Because, oh god, I forgot it's expensive at start. Yeah, so another minor change from Japanese version. This version is that for some reason in Japan that spell's called reflex. Rather than reflect.
Well, just using the wrong word.
Yep.
Or maybe it's because you just become really good with your shield.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the hint.
Yeah, I knew that there was something that said, oh, hey, there's a dude that lives here.
Yeah, I think the manual tells you have to find the guy. The guys will tell you to stab up and stab down.
So, yeah. These weren't super necessary to skip, but just to show that you can. I'm gonna want magic.
Hell yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just basically, it's the same thing twice, it's just one has bubbles, one does not. Okie dokie. God damn it. Oh yeah, most of those things are kind of hurt. Keep on getting... Damn it. Oh. Go. Okay, so yeah, this is I believe this is the Maze Palace that we're going to, because all the mountains.
Yeah, this should have the
boots. Yes. Which the boots is not. So One of the complaints I hear about this game a lot is the fact that when you die, you go back to the place where Zelda's sleeping. The thing with that is that if you're going into the dungeons, if you get an item, you can bypass a lot of that, so you can go pretty much straight to where you were. So even if you die, you still kind of make progress. Oh, so we go over here. Oh, it's just magic. There we go. Okay.
A little sliver left.
Yeah, because of course they couldn't make life. You know, it's base 16. Actually, how much is it? Okay, so it's 2 for reflex, because that is incredibly important in the next level. Like, it is straight up impossible to beat the next level without it. There we go, that helps.
Can't hold your shield over your head.
Nope. I can do that. Oh god, that's right, those things get 50 apiece. Okay. There we go. Oh, right. These questionably designed whiz ropes.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why I did that. Oh, right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. Yeah, the whole thing with the Japanese version.
What were the penalties in the US version, though? Because I remember that there are some.
It's not, you lose all your XP, but it doesn't reset. Like, it's not like if you're offset, like your levels are offset. It's not like if I were to game over here, I won't have my thing go down to 5. It'll just
Yeah, in this one, you just go back to 0 to your next level, but you keep all
So what's the
Japanese
incentive?
one,
What's the incentive to getting the 1-ups beyond not having to backtrack all the way from White Castle?
XP.
that's pretty much it. Just, yeah.
He jumped.
But yeah, the Japanese version, for anyone who doesn't know, if you level up, say, you have your, attack at 8 and your magic at 8, but your life is still at 1 for some reason, you game over, then everything's at 1.
God, these things, I hate these things so much.
It levels everything down to your lowest level.
I want to say that those things, if I remember correctly, I think those things are called Doom Knockers, which I think makes me hate them even more.
Doom Knockers?
Yeah, it has a really stupid name that I think the word knocker is in it. It's either Death Knocker or Doom Knocker, and I hate it.
I was a little surprised you didn't just ferry out of there.
It's not worth it.
And this is the hole you have to dive into.
Yep. You have to make sure
the other, yeah, you don't fall the second one.
Yep. Oh, good. There we go. I'm getting wombo comboed. So this prick. God damn it.
Because you can actually defeat the boss in these things without getting the item. You have to go back in and get the item.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, if you do not have the item from the dungeon, it does not blow up. Like there is a check there to make sure that you have gotten the item before it's, because if you notice, whenever I left a dungeon, it would basically turn to a rock.
Right.
I believe that there is a check in there to prevent you from like being in an unwinnable state.
Right, but so you can see that you need
yes.
to. There's a lava pit.
Yep. Also I should just gonna do this just to. Wait a minute. God damn it. There we go. Yeah, those things are a lot easier to deal with when you can just block their thing. Oh. Also, I really miss the sound effect from the Japanese version for casting magic, because it's really good.
It's different in the U.S.?
Yeah, because that's the sound effect that you just heard was from the U.S. version. Yeah, right. I think it's right here. Oh, not that.
Yeah.
That.
That is pretty neat.
Oh, also, now that I just realized the roar. Oh, not that. That's for blocking. That's for death. Nope. Nope. There we go. That's the sound effect. Oh. That's the thing that sucks with these things. God damn it. Oh. There we go.
Medusa head's in an unfortunate place.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Oh. Gotta kill the KKK. Yeah, and the only way to kill these things is to reflect. Okay. Got it. Oh. Go. Oh, there's so many of them. God damn it.
Welcome to this
Yeah,
wonderful location.
God, no!
And every time you kill one, you bury yourself further.
Ah, god damn it. There we
You'll
go.
get out of this
Nope.
pit eventually. You fool.
Got it.
Made the pit too big.
Alright. Thankfully, Wizropes do not respawn.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Okay, now that we've done that, we can go over here. Oh, it's the boots, yeah. For some reason I thought I got the whistle. I'm like, wait, that's not... Oh, you... Technically, keys do not leave the... Or keys, like, they leave the dungeon with you. So you could just get like a bunch of keys and then go, but that's not nearly as useful in this one as it was in the original. Also, I'm not going to deal with that. You know, I'm just going to take that. God damn it. I'm just going to despawn you. There we go. Oh, damn it. There. Oh. I hate elevators in this game. At least we're trying to fight stuff off of it. Oh, crap. This is unfortunate.
We have the key, right?
I have the key, but I don't have enough magic to deal with the Withrops. Okay, come on. Oh. Damn it. One time I need magic. Now I need one more thing. Don't.
Can't believe this betrayal.
Okay. There we go. Let's see. There we go. It's only one problem. Although it's only a problem if I don't know how close I am to the boss. Because I could be in trouble. Oh.
You forgot the key.
You have two keys, I thought.
No, I don't. I have no keys.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Where did I forget a key? Did I go all the way to the left when I went? So I went all the way to the right there. And all the way to the right here. Or left here. I don't. Oh. Oh, I got the pee bag and then left. That's what happened.
Oh. That makes sense.
Okay. Oop. Try this again. Oop. Okay, come on, prick. You know you want to drop a red magic.
Nope, no magic for Lolo.
We got one more.
If you buy our magic up, will it regenerate? Oh no, you need 3,500 for magic.
Hold on. I don't think I'll hit.
And there's no boss fountains in this.
Crap. Well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, there is a way I can handle this.
Oh.
There, I got my magic up.
Yeah.
It works.
There. Okay, so here's the boss.
Yeah, this boss is fun.
Yep, it's completely random. Also, there we go.
I just...
I mean, it's trying to find a position generally is... There's not really a reason to, you just speed past it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Now that I have the boots, I can just walk on shallow water. Just bypass this maze entirely.
Some good waiters.
Also, you just go over here.
Oh no, secrets!
Well, not quite a secret, because also if we go over here, say, oh, hey, this road, you go over here, and if I because if you just continue going, there's a dungeon. But over here,
Another secret.
Your jump is too weak.
yep.
Whoa.
Yes.
And that's as much health and magic as you can carry, right?
Nope.
You can have one more.
Yep, one more of each.
Oh, okay. I thought it looked wrong.
Nope, you can go. They can touch each other.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nothing in that one. Okay, so this, I believe, I think this one's called the Hidden Palace.
That makes sense.
It was hard to find, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Alright, the stupid use of fairy.
Hell yeah.
Hey, to come back.
Oh, goddammit. No, I want the key. There we go. Ah, God.
Take go hit Lola.
No, I must.
And pick up the key.
There we go. Nailed it.
Pro strap.
Alright, is this the first room that... Oh, no, these are just iron knuckles. I got it. That's... Go, wait, can't wait.
Game really likes Iron Knuckles, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's basically this game's like, oh, we need a big enemy. Let's just put an iron knuckle here.
And there's a worse version of those in the final dungeon.
Oh, yeah, oh. I'll get there. Also, these guys start showing up. These guys are really good grinding enemies.
This may be the least threatening spell I've ever seen.
So they give 200 apiece.
Wow.
The only problem is you have to They have to get close. And they really don't have that much HP either.
Okay.
Heck. Oh, okay.
Oh, nice ghost there.
Okay. Oh no. Oh! I just remembered something. So you see how that enemy just kind of comes in right there?
Yeah.
So this is a really good grinding spot. This whole thing.
You fell into its trap.
So I think, where is it? I think if I place it, because if you put a hole, is it here? Because those things will infinitely respawn even if you kill them. There is a place where, oh, where is it? Is it there? No. There's a spot where if you sit down and have a turbo controller, I think you might need full health to do it.
Ah.
I think if I heal... Oh, nope.
Then
Also, I think you have to have enough attack to kill him in one shot, but there is a spot that's similar to that if you just sit down, hold the turbo fire, you will just continuously get, you'll just eat through them and just you can max out in this dungeon pretty easily. Alright. Damn it.
So in the FDS version, this would have all been white?
Yes. I think there's one stage that had the level 2 palette. I can't remember which one, though.
Was it one of the caves? Or was it an actual dungeon?
It was an actual dungeon.
Huh, then weird.
Yeah, it seems like the FDS release of this game is basically like a 0.95 release. Like, it just feels mostly there. Like, it feels complete, but it's compared to this, it's like not quite fully done. Okay. Come on, you asshole. There we go. Damn it.
One more.
There we go. I can use that. Oh, no, this is the Island Palace. Because, yeah, the last one's a maze. Because I remember one of the hints was given that this palace has a fake wall. Which it does. Oh, there we go. There. Oh yeah, these things have a good sometimes when you don't expect it, they can definitely just spawn straight on top of you.
Can't believe this game invented telefragging.
And Brookholes, you should be able to get out of the room. Or, I'm trying to think. Just kind of warp into it. There's that. Also one thing I do remember is the fact that, what was I gonna say? For some reason in the FDS version, whenever you come to a boss, it will, even if the dungeon itself had a different palette, it will always be of the light color.
Hmm.
Oh, damn it. God, even at 7, almost max health, those things still do a lot of damage. Damn it. Ooh, I forgot to get something.
No.
Actually, because I can kill the boss and then just leave.
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
So, this boss kind of sucks. Also, it's exclusive to the US version, because in the Japanese release, you would just fight another helmet head here.
Hmm.
I believe this guy's name is Guma.
I thought the most annoying boss was the three-headed dragon.
It's I guess that technically would be the most annoying, but this guy's really tends to fight. Because you have a very tight window in which you can actually hit him without taking damage.
Hmm.
There we go.
Nice.
Well, do I want to get? Yeah.
Might as well.
And then I can just do that. Okay, so wait, did I get? No, because I was gonna say no, I didn't. Oh, and now I think I remember. I think I remember where the item is. I remember it being down and to the right somewhere. Damn it. Right. Yep. Whoa, geez. That's okay. Let's regroup and think. Oh, there we go. This room sucks. Ah, goddamn it. Ah, God. Although something about, I think I remember actually not needing to go into this room, but oh well. Boy, this room sucks. There we go.
And to think we used to beat
cheat
this without
sheets,
cheating.
I mean, yes. Oh. Okay. Yep, that room is completely completely skippable.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
God. Okay, okay. How much of a running jump do I need? Nope. Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay. Gosh. There we go. Damn it. You know what? Damn.
Poor Lolo.
There we go. Okay.
You did it!
That was totally a good use of 10 minutes.
So what were we trying to collect from this dungeon before we left again?
The key item.
What was it? I don't remember what the key item was.
It's a flute. It is required.
Do you not have the upstab yet?
Oh, I do. I could have upstabbed it.
Alright. It feels like the rewind ability is just spoiling you much too much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know either, but started to wonder.
Okay.
If you ever do get to the point where you like reach the PS2 era of gaming and you ever play Prince of Persia, what will happen?
I mean, he'll be well prepared for it.
I'm just wondering if you'll end up accidentally rewinding the emulator instead of rewinding time in game.
I mean, the time in game is a precious resource that you only have a limited amount of.
Okay, let's see. Where is the stupid illusionary wall? Okay. I see it. I knew I'd get myself lost some spot. Although I do remember this one being especially mazy.
I feel like you've made a very grave error by trying to jump through that without letting it all, like, fall first.
Probably. Okay, and then... Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, and then there should be... Is it screen break? And then, yeah, right here. And over here. There we go.
Good lives would be less intrusive. No, because you still get sent to the start of a room, don't you? That's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I don't need to...
That is fair.
There we go.
I mean,
there it is.
Lolo has this time power. He might as well enjoy it.
I forget, aren't you supposed to get a reflex spell at some point, or do you
I already got
have it? Oh, okay.
It only works on certain things.
Yeah, but these mages with their fly...
Yeah, it does work on those.
Are one of them.
I'm
It's
trying
just
to...
that they generally don't seem that threatening.
Also, I think actually I think I could actually get enough XP on the way back with those mages that I could actually get 2 levels from this dungeon still. Because I still have the 1 for beating it.
I mean, I used the first dungeon's bubbles to get all the way to 8 attack.
Why?
Why not?
Because Loco's a madman.
Yeah, that's pretty much the actual answer, really.
I mean,
There we go.
it's in his name.
That is true.
I mean, not currently. He's currently Senior Cheesecake, but...
That's only one of my many forms, or something, I don't know.
It's like Killer 7, but it's Loco's alternate personalities.
I don't know how I feel about that.
One of the personalities just, I like cheesecake.
Yeah. He kills people with cheesecakes.
Do all alternate personalities have to be murderers?
I mean,
God damn it.
it was implied by me calling it Killer 7, but I guess we could do something more peaceful. What's a peaceful?
Other games with
alternate personality.
like Illusion of Gaia and the whole Frida and Shadow thing.
Oh, right.
Fair. You might want to just take the lifeline.
No.
Yeah, you might as well just cast life, really.
Or cast...
Oh. I don't have enough.
Oh, you don't? No.
Then just die.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over here.
Only 8 more of those to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually I do have enough to, I could just get the level here.
Ideally, you would get it in a room with no EXP stealing jackal bouncers. I really don't have a better name for those guys.
I forgot, I knew what they were called at one point, I just forgot.
Are we sure jackal bouncers isn't it?
I'm pretty certain that jackal bouncers is not it.
Aww.
It needs an os in the name, like Lizalfos and Stalfos.
How about
Bouncos.
Pogo Sticklers?
No.
Oh.
Lizstalfos.
Listalfos?
Yeah. Lizard Skeletonos.
That sounds like a bad cereal.
Yeah, it is. It's like Lucio's. The new Overwatch breakfast cereal.
Ugh. Is there such a thing as a non-breakfast cereal?
No.
Maybe?
I mean, depends on how you want to define a cereal. Like, if you mean, like, the American cereal, then no, not really. But a cereal could also just be a general grain, and people eat those kind of cereals all day long.
I've just been wondering if there really needs to be a distinction. I mean, you don't actually have to eat a breakfast cereal for breakfast.
No, you don't have to.
It's like Reese's for breakfast.
And there I am in the corner
they
shoveling
even
the
make
Reese's
that?
cups into my mouth, saying like, fuck you.
Okay.
I didn't need your permission before this. How am I gonna start now?
The partially melted, so you have to just scoop them in. It's all like one big pile.
As we all remember that famous jingle, the best part of waking up is Reese's in your cup.
That's not how that goes.
That's exactly how it goes for me.
Just
You got your Folgers in my chocolate.
Oh god.
I mean, coffee flavored chocolate is a thing that exists.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
think like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there has been Reese's peanut butter cup, like, coffee creamer at least one time.
I just want the commercials where, Wait, no, that wasn't an actual commercial, that was a bad joke. Have there ever been a commercial where two people, like, slammed into each other with Reese's cups and the other thing? I mean,
Yeah.
peanut butter and
I
chocolate.
was gonna say, that's where
yeah.
you got my chocolate, my peanut butter, and that where that came from.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that statue, you didn't try it.
Oh, I don't think those.
That's
Well,
what gave you magic.
oh, my.
I mean, it might. You might as well
It
try.
didn't.
No.
Did you have to jump so you can hit the helmet, though?
No.
No, you hit from a standing position.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just need.
Very close to leveling, too.
Yeah, I just need something that, like, I might as well just kill this stupid bubble.
And those heads give 20 XP each, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So I can speed up and walk right into them. There we go. There we go.
Hey!
We did it.
It doesn't beep anymore.
I mean, it definitely hit the point where I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh right, it's beeping, isn't it?
I just keep thinking.
There. Also, we
Yeah.
should be at the point in which I do not have to do any external grinding.
Nice.
I just keep thinking of somebody getting splashed with hot coffee in the middle of that format of commercial. You know,
Like,
one side is like, "Oh, you got your chocolate in my coffee," and the other guy's like, "Your coffee's all over my face, I die."
Some fine McDonald's coffee causing third-degree burns. Necrotization of the flesh. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was messed up.
5th degree burns are great.
What?
Wait, did you say 5th degree?
Yes, 5th degree burns from the 5th dimension.
I don't think.
I mean, obviously at that point you wouldn't have any coffee in your cup. You wouldn't have any cup to hold your coffee.
That is true. Unless it's made out of a really strong metal.
Why would you be
Well,
transported?
one with a very high melting.
In what
Yeah.
situation would you be walking or driving with a cup that can hold that amount or that heat of coffee?
I mean, researchers from like a government
you know,
lab
when's the last time
accidentally
you've
left,
been-
like
So say,
nuclear
when's,
material in the back of a taxi cab?
when's the last time you've been in the Bed Bath & Beyond? They have new shit all the time.
It's
I
in the
hate,
Beyond section.
I hate these fans stages.
Yeah, they kind of suck.
There's one that has pits in it on top of it all, isn't there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Really?
Are
You
they
just
supposed to
imagine
be
that they're throwing
fences, or is it supposed to be
tomatoes.
like... Are they supposed to be
I
like
was-
unannounced?
I thought it was supposed to be fences.
Yeah, they do look like fences. You can see them peeking out between the gaps.
Yeah, but it's
I
just
mean, they might
on
be
the overworld
pillars,
map,
but I
though.
mean, you
The
can make
overworld-
a fence on pillars.
The overworld map, you're walking through like a narrow area,
Canyon.
so why would they make... Why
Yeah,
would
it
they make
could be a
fences?
canyon.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still put like stuff in a canyon.
And you can, but it just seems a waste of resources.
These guys just
Canyons
took
are
so long.
boring.
Monsters. And they're wasting all their resources trying to get a drop of blood out of this kid that apparently they can't manage to make bleed, even though they filled him with rocks.
Also, what happens
It's very sturdy.
Also, what happens if I go into the lava? Because that's not going to be a recoverable body. The blood's gone at that point.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like, you're cooked. Even before you hit the lava, you are cooked.
I was gonna say, if only there was like a thing where if you lost your last life doing a lava, it just, rather than saying Return of Ganon, it's just the same thing, it just says, well, shit.
Well, assuming that
maybe it's like,
they just
like
have to wait for you to reincarnate, right?
maybe it's like an alien resurrection.
I guess.
I don't know
Where
when
they
that's gonna
can-
happen.
Where they can wait like hundreds of years.
Well, the
Maybe
monsters,
solidify.
the monsters apparently know that they can revive Ganon. They must know that Link is gonna revive, or
Well, yeah, but they don't
resurrect.
know when.
So you're just taking this one offhand comment in the lore book that says need the blood, and that's what they need, rather than just Zelda to not live.
I guess.
Doesn't the instruction manual say that they need your blood?
I
too?
believe it does. I can find out real quick. I have it right next to me.
What, the Japanese manual?
No, the English manual. They still have it right next to me.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
Tasty, delicious blood.
I was gonna say,
I was just
it
wondering
could
if
say
the
for all
back
I...
office system had the same explanation straight up in there.
I think it's
Oh.
like they just need to like drop some blood on his ashes or something, and then it's like, ooh.
Also, by the way, there is apparently a genre of fanfiction that is trying to determine what the mage Kasuto is, because it's the one that was never named. So there's like, oh, it's the 8th hidden mage.
Weren't they sages? What do you mean mages?
Or sage, what? Yeah, those things. Also, so this town's really weird because there isn't a magic in. Well, actually, I take that back. There is definitely a magic in here. But
kind of
also, there's
magic?
this. Well, we'll
It's the
see.
magic.
It is the
Is
magic
it
magic.
gathering?
No, it is not the gathering magic. It is also it's a magic container that's only prerequisite is that you find all the other magic containers.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how you get to deserve her help.
you found the 3 others.
And now the bars are
Makes
touching.
sense.
You explored all the dungeons and all the optional pieces of map.
You're so
I'm
good
gonna
at
help
video
you
games.
now. Here's the last heart piece.
That is true.
Baby Ganon. The amount of blood determines the art style of Ganon you
Let's
get.
go into the fireplace. This is a big fireplace. Remember the magic word. And you get spell.
Ah,
Alright.
my favorite spell.
I
What
cast
does the spell do?
Well, there's 2 uses of spell. One that is basically what it will do is if you use it in a combat scenario, it will turn certain enemies into bots.
Okay.
The other use is right here.
It lets you cheat at a spelling bee.
Nope.
And you require a pretty high magic level to be able to cast it too, don't you?
No, it's only 24.
Right, but I thought at lower levels it was like a ridiculously high.
No, that is the next spell we learned.
Oh, okay.
You got the key.
Yep, so that is basically the magic key from the original game. I no longer need to collect keys.
Congratulations on your skeleton key that isn't really a skeleton key, it's a magic key. There's a distinction.
It's a skeleton key because it's made out of actual skeletons.
Now you don't have to explore as much of the final dungeon. You did it. You can skip a lot of things.
Hell yeah.
Well, we technically still have 2 dungeons left. Although this next one, I
Technically
believe...
speaking, you could have skipped everything with a fairy spell.
Well, yeah, well, a lot at least.
Yeah, you can just get through most doors and you just have to keep farming until the potion drops.
The old land that remains is something that technically we could do now, but there's really no purpose to it.
That's an interesting question. Was spell called spell in Japanese?
Yes, it was.
There you go.
Yeah, because all the spell names are in English. Also, it reminded me there is a really good piece of art in the manual that is basically, it looks like Link is casting a spell, but it's him like making like a jazz hands kind of thing that just says the words magic next to it.
I do magic.
Is that how you cast magic? Like, that's how I
Oh,
cast
God damn it.
What? Did you enter a wrong place? Oh.
Well, no, because I need this to be blank so that I can do this. And there's this. Okay.
The purple dungeon.
I believe this is the Hidden Eye Palace.
It's
Luigi's
Waluigi's
Eye Palace.
Okay. So yeah, this one's a lot. Also, technically, the item of this level is not required. It just makes things a lot easier.
What's this one's item again?
The cross.
Oh, right.
Because technically you could go through that area without the cross and it doesn't make any enemies appear from the final level, so there really is no use to having it. Also, I just need to make sure that I kill as much as I possibly can. Okay. Also, actually...
Why do you need to kill as much as you can?
Just to make sure that I just need one more level so that I can go into the final dungeon with 8-8.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or 8-8-8, because
I forgot this was Dungeon 7.
Oh, right, this. Okay. There's this fun little bit right here. Oh. Did not see that he was doing the... You know what? Just go away. Go away. Right. Let's see. Can I make this jump without using... Oh! Okay, I know you can make the jump. It's just...
There we go. Oh yes, the knife throwing one. That's their fun.
Excuse me. Right. Am I actually making progress? Or am I just... You know what, actually I don't need that.
Link has time powers.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Didn't need to cast a reflect spell so many damn times. Oh! I just remembered what this thing with this room is. Yep, okay. There. Yeah, I remember trying to ferry over that, except that's not going to help. Also...
Boss fight.
This guy again.
Also, if I remember correctly, you can do a little trick here. So,
What, kill both of them?
oh no, I thought there was a thing where if you time a downward thrust right and jiggle the controller enough, you can get it so that you can kill the thing before it touches the ground.
If it's possible, I've never done it.
There's cross.
Hell yeah, you found Jesus.
So what did the cross do for us again? Less damage? No damage from bubbles?
What the cross does is that there are hidden enemies in certain areas. that we can now see.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn that there was something else.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, like, the cross is the only... Well, technically, you could beat the game with the candle, but good luck doing that. Damn it. Where'd that... There it is. Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, that's... That works. Okay. Okay. There we go. Whoop.
Oh yeah, the big fake out. I love Nintendo.
What?
About how those heads don't do anything for like 7
Oh, until you
dungeons,
walk...
and then
So there was an area in the second level that did that as well. Okay. Damn it. Stop being an asshole! There we go.
ah!
You didn't get the XP, oh no.
Oh, did I not?
No, you jumped in just a little bit.
Oh, right.
Oh, so if you leave the screen before it adds the XP, you don't get it.
Yep.
Oh, that's tricky.
There, you can't. God damn it. Oh. There we go, there we go, there we go. Alright. Now, the thing is, I think if I only need 5,000 in order to get it so that I'll be enough, high enough level. That's not gonna happen. Whoops. Whoops, there we go.
Oh, I forgot they could jump.
They're tricky like that.
Come on. Where'd you go?
He's gone.
There he is.
Never to return.
No. Oh.
Have you memorized all the places? Oh, well, I guess with 3-1 you don't
also
have
one
to.
other. Also, I just remembered with so one thing that was different from the Japanese version of this, these returning Iron Knuckle fights are actually just fighting Horsehead again.
Good.
Just Horsehead alone?
Yep.
Alright.
I better find it.
Yeah, but horse guy's cooler.
That's what I'm saying. The Iron Knuckles suck.
No, I mean, this guy riding the horse is cool. You're doing some good stuff.
He doesn't in fact look like the guy from the Black Knight 2000, but yes.
So have you memorized where all the invisible pits are?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just remember they get ridiculous.
I mean, if he forgets any, he has the ability to rewind time.
I have the ability to cheat like a bastard.
Yeah.
Thus, the invisible pits are no threat.
Well, I don't think they are a threat unless you're at the lower floors anyway. Actually, isn't there one where it's never a threat because it loops infinitely?
I believe so. Oh. Alright. No. I might have to go back because I'm pretty sure that the boss gives 1,000. So if I get up to 5,000, I should get enough XP from the boss to level up. Well, looks like we might have to grind a bubble or two. Or, can't you? Okay, you know what, let's just get to the boss, because I think... Because, yeah, I think there's an yeah, I think we should be good.
You know, for a game that only has one dungeon song, this is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, do I have... Oh, I just realized I need magic.
Mm-hmm.
Rip.
Maybe you'll get some from this fella.
Time to see if you can get a potion to spawn.
Hey, you
Or-
look at
child.
Or if I can... Or I have an idea.
That didn't pay off, though.
Nope. But I know another thing that could pay off.
Are you gonna jump in a hole?
Nice. Just
Getting killed?
Yep. Getting killed is actually a really good way to, It is oddly enough a pretty good survival tactic. Or maybe not survival tactic, but getting through the game, it can help you out.
Yeah. It's like taking damage to save frames.
Pretty much. Because here's the thing, I don't know if you saw it when I fell down that hole, but you need to have fairy. And the thing is also, you need to be pretty quick on the draw because you need to actually hit start and then hit select. So, to fight this boss. So yeah. This is Volvolga. Okay, now if I can time this properly...
Then you can just chill on his head, or what?
You can, yeah, pretty much. But you have to time it. I think you also might need jump. You do that.
Powerful.
Spin the D-pad like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Okay. Well, if there's a skeleton back there, that might do it.
You better drop a P-bag. God damn it.
When does he respawn?
He won't.
Like never? Even
Nope.
if you leave the room? Oh, what a jerk.
Well, we're gonna have to just kill a few bubbles.
Well, it works.
If they don't get stuck in the ceiling.
No, that was completely stuck.
Wait. Oh. Wasn't there ones that spawned at the bottom?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
How will you get this last 128 experience?
There's gotta be a bubble somewhere. Oh, I know where there's bubbles. Not there. Oh, there is some up there. Is it 2 or is it just 1?
I mean, it's something.
Come on.
Just 78 more.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I know that.
I think you need jump.
No, he did before.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I did. But it doesn't matter because.
We're about to level up.
Why didn't this bubble spawn?
Bubble went home
He's
for the day.
fucking with you clearly now.
Bubble's a member of a union now.
Apparently, bubbles don't respawn.
Yeah, they do, but
But they did on
apparently
other
not.
levels.
The game knows you're just trying to get that last bit of experience and is fucking with you.
Apparently, not all of them respawn, because that one didn't.
It lives on in my heart.
What about these
That's
guys?
not gonna
I'm
work.
just
That's
curious
5 apiece.
I mean,
Well, we're not that far off, right?
yeah.
Well,
only,
we're right at the thing. We need to get.
Only 63 experience.
Believe in yourself.
58.
5 XP at a time.
Yeah, that's what's gonna have to be.
That's the thrilling content, strippy content.
God, it would almost be. God, it probably would be faster if I just.
You could go down and up the elevator and try to see if it.
Wait.
Flying fireball.
Wait. We can make this work.
Get his job of
There we go.
Yay!
Time to rush.
Cat celebrates your victory.
I can't believe Lolo did a Genki Dama or whatever.
Okay, finally.
Don't forget to stab this statue in the way out.
There. Also, I am now max level.
Hooray.
We did it.
It
We're
did.
still
Wait.
strong.
No.
All right.
We need to get another level to get an extra life.
We need 90 things.
Okay, I just completely bypassed that one enemy, but I don't care.
That was a little weird.
It's fine. It's fine.
Don't
That's
care.
good.
The game is gonna start falling apart now at this point.
We got things to do.
I could have sworn there was a bubble.
So yeah,
Right.
these enemies right here would be invisible if you did not have the cross.
Right.
Which
The
is
power
only a minor
and
inconvenience.
Price compels them.
Time to get the wizard that remains or something.
Yep.
I don't think it's that you get a life. I think it's just you get a refill, isn't it?
Nope. You get extra life.
Oh, really?
So here, Thunder, the most powerful magic. So basically, what Thunder does is it basically is a smart bomb. The thing is that Thunder, if you do not have magic level 8, costs 128 magic, which is your entire full bar. If you are not up leveled. And now we're on to. We just need to go on to the Great Palace, which is just over to the left. But first, we gotta deal with a really annoying little maze.
Everybody loves the little maze.
And by maze, I mean just a kind of a gauntlet. And now it costs 64, so half of your full magic bar.
But think of the value.
It's also required to fight the last boss. Well, second to last boss.
I don't
Yeah.
remember you actually needing to use it to fight Thunderbird, do you?
Yeah, you do, because you won't be able to hurt him.
Yeah, he's one of those bosses that you have to hit with. I forgot it was Thunder though. I thought it was Spell that you were.
I could have sworn that there was some other way.
Oh right, I forgot about that asshole thing, which is you cannot avoid that one hit.
They really,
Are these
that's
enemies
really
also
dickish.
invisible without
Wow.
the
They might actually be. I think these could actually be. God damn it.
I think this is just awesome. It's just a bunch of guys throwing rocks at you. That's just so cool.
Because they're red, I like to imagine they're tomatoes. They're booing you.
Well, we hope they're tomatoes.
They don't hurt that much. They could be tomatoes. God damn it. Okay, so this area royally sucks.
Oh, the lava.
Because yeah, your random fights you can just die in, just randomly. Also, these enemies are some of the worst in the game.
You need to make a potion out of a lizard so you don't catch fire.
I can't do that in this game. This isn't Breath of the Wild. There. Okay, so remember that trick that I did over in... I think it was Darunia? Yeah, that comes in handy a lot in this area. Because these set areas are really hard fights.
This is one of our longer episodes, isn't it?
I mean, we've been going
short.
for quite a while.
No, well, considering the Castlevania episode went on for 4 hours.
I
This is
mean,
true.
it's no Radiant Silvergun.
That was also
It's
4
true.
hours.
Hi, Torpo.
Okay, let's see.
Hello, I
Yeah,
live, bitch.
God damn it.
Also, I have a
Okay.
cat on my lap.
Nice.
Don't you usually, though?
I mean, yes.
The natural state of a torpo is with a cat in the lap.
Okay.
Daisy's the only one who really wants to sit in my lap.
It's still a cat.
Okay.
True. She will go to
Okay.
great lengths to sit in my lap too. It's impressive.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna deal with
Brute
these.
force the fuck out of it, dude. This entire gauntlet sucks.
I mean, you could just
Well-
ferry over it.
It's not.
You could.
I could, but it's still that's using magic that I don't need to use.
I mean, like,
That
it's
one guy
pretty
dropped
bad,
that one guy dropped a double potion.
I like how you melt into the background when you hit lava.
Oh,
God, this is a stupidly exact jump.
there we go.
Well, they give you the jump spell.
Yeah.
True.
Although the jump tends to make your Link even more unwieldy than normal.
Also, look, this entire game's a goddamn blur to me, and I missed most of the stream.
Well, it's a good thing you're coming right at the end of the end of the game.
I know, it's great.
God.
You're just in time for the finish. Fuck. Please stop pumping the scorpion.
That's how many.
I do love the Link down stab, though. It's really good.
Here we go.
Totally forgot about that guy.
Don't care.
Yeah, down stab never really comes back, does it?
What was that?
I said the down stab never really comes back, does it?
In Smash Bros.
Except in Smash. That's the only thing I can think of.
No,
I mean,
Breath of the Wild, I think, had it.
no. Four Swords Adventures also had it. If you were a Link that had a feather, you could do a down stab.
So I don't think it ever came back in the 3 ones. There is technically a down stab finisher, but
you
it's
kind
all
of more
different beast.
slam.
Isn't there
It
one
didn't
in...
come back otherwise, but what's the other thing? There was aside from Four Swords Adventures that had the the top-down view down stab, there was wasn't there a 2D segment in one of the Oracle's games
Okay.
that had down stab available?
So,
Maybe.
this is the Grand Temple. If you come here without placing all the things, you would just hit that wall and take a lot of damage.
Also, Rafferty earlier mentioned only one dungeon theme. Well, joke's on you.
Dungeon
The only dungeon
So,
theme.
there are exclusive enemies in this area, as you'd probably imagine.
Okay, the dungeon theme here is pretty good.
Also, oh god, I forgot that these things shoot fire, so I need to reflect. Also, I think I remember my way through here because this was a little bit of a maze. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. I think I'm going the wrong direction.
I know my way, says the hello.
So yeah,
Hubris.
these are folk tales. I just you ever just play a game enough that you're just kind of looking at something and just realize something about it that kind of is like, wait, what?
What's
Look
that?
at the. Take a really good look at the sprite next time that I
Yeah.
fight one.
No, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you see?
Well, Lola looks
Because
silly
there
when we
are only
don't
a couple
find
of
another
them.
hotel.
No, there's a couple of them. I think it's right this time.
Please inform me, for I am ignorant.
You'll. I'm gonna fight another one, so you'll see it.
Fucking better. Oh.
Those aren't claws on the front, huh?
No.
Yeah!
No, they're
You're
not.
right. I can see why this enemy never came back. Oh, later.
It's always weird when an enemy that has wings falls to its death.
Yep. Also in this room, we're going to be finding the other new enemy in this level.
The worst enemy in the game.
Yes. With the most appropriate name.
Hello, please.
Why do you keep falling for it?
Because he's a fool.
Okay, so these guys. No, whoops.
These guys!
These guys have been avoiding this whole time.
I thought there was one. Is it? I think it's over here.
No, because the heads are here. I don't think it's there with the heads.
No, it's right here. So you like Iron Knuckles?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about one that jumps like an idiot?
So these are Fakas.
They really are fuckers.
Absolute fuckers.
Massive fuckers.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, those things suck. They're really hard to kill, and they chase you down, as can be seen here.
There we go.
Rude
Later.
boy.
Oh, also you can go. Is this one? Yeah. And if you need it.
Wow.
Oh, I never knew that was there.
I wonder why.
There's a couple elevators like that. Some of them have like fairies.
I think
in the game in general.
I think all the ones that are, because I mean this is one of those games that it's like it shares the room layout.
There's something about the way this bird attacks and moves that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Like it's
Yeah, it's spitting fire.
not that sort of warm. And what sort of fire makes you feel fuzzy? Anyway, no, it's the little hop, the movement, the fact that it just opens its mouth, a 2-frame animation. It just feels so goofy, and I like it.
It's basically
It's not
Birdo.
the boobs.
It's what, the boobs?
What if Birdo had boobs? That's the question.
Did you not notice, Loco?
I didn't notice anything. What?
The bird things have tits.
It did?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. No, I didn't notice at all.
Those aren't like little T-Rex arms with claws on the front. No, they're tits.
As the manual or some of the art tries to pull off.
Well, that's sad.
You're
I thought
welcome.
it was a goofy little griffin thing, not a fucking...
Well, you see, it's not just
Not
part
a
griffin,
predecessor
it's part
to
tit.
Yuka from Twilight Princess. The weird-breasted cuckoo people.
Please do not insult Firebird like this.
Is that their actual enemy name?
It's
No.
apparently Fakaru.
Fuckaroo?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know where I got the name Fotail because I think that's one of the. I forgot it.
Yeah, it's Fokkeru.
What is Bakaru Japanese for?
It sounds like it's a
Fuck
40
you.
romanized fuck.
See you, Loco.
What's up? Oh. I really don't want to interpret those that way. Why
Well,
did you
you're
have
going to
be
now.
part of that? I was perfectly happy with my goofy ass standing griffin thing.
Yeah, it was like the fourth time that I played through this game, and I just kind of was sitting there like, huh? I don't think those are arms.
I was so much happier before this.
You did this to yourself.
I didn't
Joke's
do
on you
this to
for
myself
being
at
happy.
all. I didn't make the artwork.
Nope.
Nice.
Also, I don't think I ever showed it off, but fairies do not heal magic either, which is kind of annoying.
I don't think they ever
Wait, what?
did that.
You fell in.
Oh, because weird collision?
Yeah, I guess.
The convection killed
It's like half that tile isn't really there.
You
Okay.
know, you keep collecting the experience, but I don't think you'll normally get to 9,000. Like, I don't think you'll normally get to 9,000 here.
Without grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real point to it. Also, one other thing that I don't think I mentioned, but basically, in this level, if you were to die, you just go back to the start of this level.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
because I mainly think that's a technical limitation because in the disc version you would have to flip the disc over once you got to this level. So probably it was just like, let's not have to deal with flopping discs.
You could have just jumped over it.
That wouldn't be fun.
He could have, but he wants to make it difficult.
Why are you doing? Why are you like this?
He's gotta kill the boobs.
There we go. Also,
My boy, why would you do this?
Is that the only room that thing is in?
yes. Oh, oh what?
What hit you?
I don't know.
I am.
Oh,
The brick was
hit-
too hot.
No, you hit the bubble when it was at the top of the screen. The pixel counter rolled over and you hit it.
Wrap around Jesus.
Amazing.
Also, here's Thunderbird.
Oh, hey.
Yep.
This is an enemy design.
You have to use Thunder on it. If you come in here with no magic, you're screwed.
Yep.
And how are you supposed to know this?
I guess it's like, oh, I see this big thing, let me try and use Thunder on it. Also, I think there's a hint somewhere that says that you should use it. Also,
Yeah, there's a hint.
Okay.
Plus, also, Thunder does do AoE damage, and also, if you have any Zelda logic at all, it's like you just got the spell, so you're thinking, well, I should try that.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Also,
Zelda 1 didn't have that kind of rule going.
Here we go.
This
Tiny
loser.
man.
Show
boy.
us the secret, Lolo.
I've never actually been able to get to work, so suppose, was it you just sit here and then eventually...
You just sit there and crouch and just spam the attack. Like, if you had turbo and just went super fast, it would just kill itself. Yeah, don't move forward or anything. Okay, well that's not working too great.
Yeah, that's the thing, I've never been able to get to work properly, because I've always, like, had this happen.
Why did you slide forward?
I think he jumped behind him.
Because, it jumped behind me. Okay, let's just...
Oh, wait, no, you are slowly sliding forward. Why are you sliding forward?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. You shouldn't have been sliding forward. That was the downfall.
Did you accidentally tie the fast forward button to your right, like diagonal?
I don't think Lolo's as incompetent as Torpo.
Well, first off, fuck you.
That was a good stream, though.
It was.
This is such a hard fight.
Yeah, it does not...
Shanking yourself for fun and profit.
Gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself.
No, wreck the shit out of yourself, actually.
Yeah, no.
Just get wrecked, kid.
You're so close. You can do it.
There we go. And there we go.
Aha! You
Nice.
killed yourself. Shit.
Fuck.
So yeah, basically,
Good thing you had 8
Darklight,
more lives.
they're...
Well, now you've defeated your shadow. I guess I'll just give this to you.
The shadow, the true self.
Buddy, ever think it's really weird that you don't have a shadow now? It's kinda fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need Midna for.
How does darkness work?
Well, there's the neat foreshadowing that you only have the shadow, like, when it does the flashes and the bosses get killed. Like, they would do a cute little shadow effect, so they kind of hinted at it. Yay!
Bear in mind, the first Zelda game to actually force the Zelda logic was actually Ocarina of Time. What do you mean?
I think, like, the get the item, use the item on boss.
Thanks,
Although-
Link, later, nerd. Oh. Oh my, it's saucy.
Yeah.
And there we go.
And so the 16-year-old
Uh,
kissed the ancient Princess Zelda from the past that was frozen in time.
Yes.
That's not creepy at all.
She's secretly hundreds of years old, it's fine. Wait. No.
I think at best she might be 32.
Hundreds of thousands of years old.
Millennia old.
Old when the world was young.
Oh, let me actually check this stupid thing again.
Can't believe Zelda's in her 30s.
Let's see.
Can't believe that Loco has to pull out his book that he wrote about the lore of Zelda.
I didn't write this book. Don't you put words in my mouth.
Also, I think this is one of the only Zelda games that had the soundtrack composed by Koji Kondo. Although now that I think about it, I just think Link to the Past or Link's Awakening also did not have a Koji Kondo soundtrack.
Okay, so Link was 10 years old when he did the events of Zelda 1.
Okay, but we're not talking about Zelda 1, we're talking about 2.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's 6 years later. So
that's the only mention of how many years there were between, like, the games. I have no idea how old Zelda 1, like Zelda the First Princess, is meant to be.
So yeah.
Oh well.
Now that we've beaten the game,
By the way, Princess Zelda's fucking disgusting.
There is... So there's no second quest like in the first game, but it does let you do a New Game Plus where I believe you have all your levels and I believe all your magic?
Elimination mode.
Let's find out.
I think so,
Yeah.
but also there's the death counter, and that's nice. You got the zeros.
Yep. So you don't have any of the items, but you have all your magic.
Oh yeah, it's containers.
Do you not have
Oh,
the
it's going to
master
be
key?
extremely powerful.
Yes.
You do not have the master key.
So yeah, that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
but please show us elimination mode.
I mean, I can. Let's see.
Delete
You
your
wanna
fucking
kill Link?
Yes.
Well, just do
Kill Link.
kick. There. So, yep. There is. Yeah. So yeah, that is. That's Zelda 2.
Yay! Yay!
Okay.
Aligned entry.
So how does it compare to Eggerland?
It's a.
Better.
Well, it's a different list.
They both have invisible water puzzles.
Yeah.
Kind of in a weird way, but also, so this is definitely, well, also why is it, it's going to be on the adventure list. So, I definitely think it's above Zelda 1.
I'd agree.
I would also say that it's above For the Frog the Bell totals. Now, I would also probably say that I would rather play Zelda 2 than East Book 1 and 2.
Could also see that.
No comment.
Wait, what game do you want to play more?
I am thinking of putting Zelda 2 at the top of this current list.
Yeah.
But bump
Right.
system.
That's the
Don't you
smartest
love
thing.
bump systems?
No, I love getting lost in canals and also... Because here's the thing. This game definitely has some issues regarding its EXP system and also some obtuse things. Although me playing East Book 1 and 2 has made me realize that first game might not have aged as well as it probably could have.
I mean, you cheated like a mofo.
I did, but still.
No, I mean, like, you just didn't cheat using the rewind. You cheated to give yourself experience points, because there are segments of the game where there is literally nothing to do but kill the same monsters dozens of times.
Yeah.
That is true.
Whereas in this game, you did not have to grind. I mean, you did grind, but you really didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for coming, Tyrion. Yeah, because there are if you don't know the game like that well, you could end up in a spot where you'd have to grind, but it's not nearly as bad, I don't think, because this game does give you plenty of opportunities that are basically really good grinding spots.
Also,
Yeah.
grinding only ever takes a few minutes at most.
And the hints can be figured out. I mean, I beat this game without using like Nintendo powers or walkthroughs or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a while, but I did.
Yeah, so... Also, I just feel like the gameplay of this also, I mean, bump combat's nice and all, but this game has some of the best combat in a Zelda game. Also, there's a lot. It has just really good gameplay in general. Like
you mentioned the weight. You really feel like when you swing the sword that it's actually doing something. And the fact that the enemies telegraph their attacks.
There's something about the fact that the enemies are kind of actually somewhat smart in the fact that like you have an enemy that has a long range attack, it will actually give itself space that it can't hit. You can't hit it, but it can hit you. Like it's actually being like especially like the blue iron knuckles, the red Dairas, like how they would space themselves so that they were harder to hit, and you actually had to work around that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the fact, like, it's kind of neat that a lot of the enemies, like, there aren't a whole lot of, like, fodder enemies. Like, a lot of the enemies in this game are, like threats. Like, it's not like Zelda 1, like, you just walk into a room, oh, there's a bunch of dark nuts, but still. Like, there isn't just, like, oh, here's a gel. Like, sure, there's, like, the little slime things in, like, a bubble or like those floating heads, but those are like the only enemies that were just seem like fodder, which is something that I kind of really liked.
Yeah, I would think the reason why a lot of people don't like this is because most of the enemies you fight are the Iron Knuckles. A lot of them are humanoid, and a lot of them are frustrating. But there isn't a lot of them, like not compared to some other games. So you spend a lot of time fighting smart humanoids rather than a bizarre freak show.
Yeah, and there's a couple of bizarre freak shows like the scorpions and like the Tectykes and all that.
Right.
But like, it's just something about this game just feels really like the gameplay of it feels really good. Though that being said, there are some like the EXP system. I feel like this game, if someone just made a ROM hack that basically took the leveling out and basically made it so that you could like, oh, you found a new sword, so now your levels up. Like, if they found some other way to mitigate your your power progression other than the XP system, I feel like this game would be like not flawless, but this game would be fantastic. Also, the live system and the fact because I didn't really show it off because I didn't really, time wizardry kind of doesn't make you die, but the starting back over at that one area at a game over can be kind of frustrating, although I will say that this game does mitigate it kind of well, because if you're going through a dungeon and you get the item, you're basically going to be able to bypass some segment that can kind of get you forward a little bit faster. Also, you're leveling so that you're probably going to, even if you just like level once in like a life or like in a run, I guess, you're still making progress, I guess.
Yeah. No, put it at the top of the list. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Alright. I was just trying to think. I thought I had another point that I was going to make, but I forgot what it was.
That Adol the Red is a nerd.
You have to argue with us more. We all agree with you. No, you must agree with me more.
Well, I just want to make sure.
How dare you shit talk Adol?
I just want to make sure that, because I know that it's just points that I've heard about it, then I just wanted to, give my take on it. So yeah, Zelda 2. Also, why is it centered?
Just needs to assuage the audience members who enjoy a little bump and grind.
Okay, you know what? That's good to say centered.
Look, ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Exactly.
Also, so I checked the time on this. This debuted in January.
Yes.
1987. Whereas Castlevania 2 debuted in August of 1987, so about 6 months or more. But notice that the clues in this, when you go to the village, the clues in this are actually useful.
Yeah.
I can't believe Link kicks Simon Belmont's ass.
We'll see about that.
And it's also like, notice that in this, when you go into places to talk to people, it's like, maybe there'll be a hidden chimney, but most of the time you just walk to the end and meet someone. Whereas in Castlevania, you gotta do the stupid throwing holy water just to talk to some guy who doesn't tell you anything useful. Ugh.
You know, that's whatever. Fine.
They should have known better. This game had already been out.
Yeah. Yes, I will definitely agree that this game does Castlevania 2 stuff better. Okay, so I'm figuring that this game is kind of just atonal.
There's no
The
phase
tone
that
is Legend of Zelda.
fantasy, right?
Yeah. Sound. This game has a pretty good
It's got
soundtrack.
that one song.
I mean,
I really do like
It's got like 3 songs.
Yeah, it's got like 3 songs. They're pretty good, but it's only got 3
They're-
songs.
Yeah, I mean, they're very good. Like, absolutely fantastic, but still.
the Famicom.
After a while, after how many hours, you just don't hear it anymore.
yeah.
Did the FDS version have more songs?
No.
Okay.
Oh, also, because that actually does point out a good point. So remember how I said that the battle music was different?
Yeah.
Here's what it sounds. What is?
Yeah, you played some of it earlier, I think.
I played the sound effects, but I don't think I played. The problem is that these are labeled all weird. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, no, I like the other one a bit more.
Yeah, it is a lot better. Okay.
Also, why is Zelda 2 centered? I need to know.
I don't know. Like,
What is this wizardry?
And I was always impressed with the noise that Link makes when he's hit. Because it
really good.
almost sounds like somebody actually grunting.
he does sound like he's getting punched in the gut, and it's really good.
Yeah. No, the sound effects in general are very good in this game.
Also,
Yeah, so Max and Chachi are saying B at least. I can see a B.
I can also say that. Because also, now I found a new metric guide. B being music is notable, but sound is notable and competent.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
B or A.
I'll go B. Because there are definitely better Zelda themes. Style.
It's pretty alright looking.
Because I'm thinking, let's see, now that I have these, it's definitely at least a C, and I have it so
I would
that
say B, just going by that definition.
technically impressive.
Yeah, albeit just lacking the artistic realm.
Also, one other thing that I just remembered that's a difference from the Japanese version to the US or to the NES version. They gave Link a mouth.
Ah!
Horrifying.
Yeah. Feel. And this is entirely gameplay mechanics. So this is
janky.
I would actually say that this feels really good, like mechanic, like in terms of like if you ignore like XP system and all that, and
I mean the combat itself, like you said, you feel like you're actually blocking and interacting with characters.
Yeah, but like first off, you said ignoring the XP system, which is kind of a slight red flag.
Well, the thing is that I would say that goes in the age category.
Okay. And also just because, like, a lot of the fights later on are basically kind of there to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Because enemies have all kinds of defenses and blocking that you require to wait or hit from very specific angles.
Yeah, so
that'd be my one big complaint about the combat, which I guess is fun and satisfying at first, but then just becomes kind of a chore. Like how that final dungeon, you were just running past everything, just because it would take too long to fight it. Especially because with the experience system, once you reach a certain point, there is no point in fighting a fight. It's actually actively detrimental to fight them.
That's actually true. So, let me get let's see. I did my handy dandy things. Okay. Because right now I have B as the game innovates on an existing formula.
I would say that. I would say B then, going by that definition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just I do have complaints about the game's design is all.
Yeah, it is kind of I do kind of wish that after you max level that it gave you a reason to do that, or like a reason to fight.
I thought you said if you got like 9,000 experience points, you get an extra life.
You get an extra life, but that's a lot of XP.
Yeah.
Well, that's also true.
Like it's like, oh, there is a thing, but it's not that worth it. I don't know what you would like. I guess maybe. Well, also, that is one thing that another Japanese difference. The cap is 4,000 rather than 9,000. So technically, there is more of a. I guess if you want to put it like that. So I would still say that there's a cap. History.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Important.
I would say it's important, but I don't know if I'd say this isn't like a gaming history milestone.
No, not
Well,
really.
it might not be a game.
I mean, B
milestone,
is
but-
straight up the definition of what we're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
2D elements in Zelda games came back in the Game Boy games. The temple was was the second Zelda stage made for Smash Brothers, and the song is kind of iconic in Melee.
Yeah, as it says, company lore.
Yeah, it's company lore and it's a key element in the franchise because technically it's the first thing that Link used magic and that came back.
Oh, there's also the whole Return of Ganon thing, like the game over screen that you didn't show anybody. It's very iconic and remembered by a lot of people.
Yeah, there's that. Okay, so here's the fun thing. Age. Yeah. So we were going to calculate this, and this is unfortunately I didn't think of this until this afternoon, so this is going to be a little bit not final.
Dodgy.
But so the way that we have this is I have this list of really annoying things that basically we're going to count off to see how much Zelda 2 kind of. We're just looking at this. Whoops. Let's not knock my drink down.
Drop fucking everything.
Okay, so this I would not consider this having an archaic continue system nor a password system. It definitely has savings. Obtuse secret systems, which I was more thinking of like Zelda 1 being obtuse secrets. That the Kasuto is really the only one that I would say is really obtuse. But that one's kind of
this
bad.
game shows most things on the map, and it's got hints for pretty much everything. It's not ideal, but it's perfectly functional.
So there's 2. It has good checkpointing. It's not, well, it's obviously not quarter munching.
You say good checkpointing, but the very end, like the final dungeon.
Yeah, but that's the final dungeon.
Well, no, it's not if you die, you go back to the start. It's if you game over, you go back to the start.
Oh, okay.
No, you just. It's the checkpointing is actually really good in that sense because you just go back to the room. You start at the room that you died in.
Yeah.
Also,
but it's gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, what do you mean by a complete lack of air control? Because some
Castlevania.
Games... Okay, I was gonna say, like, some games are all about deliberate jumps, and I don't know if I consider that necessarily a bad thing, but yeah.
The thing is, I would put that at like 0.5 because I would say maybe. I think I might rewrite that as complete lack of like air control in terms of like it feels jank.
Yeah, like there's a difference between like the lack of air control in a game where your vertical movement is literally one like part of the puzzle, like Catherine, or the old Prince of Persia's where you have to commit to your jump.
Yeah, I think he's referring to Prince of Persia, Donkey Kong, Jumpman. Castlevania, the games that once you jump, you are committed.
I would also say more like akin to Castlevania because it's not nearly as bad. Like, I'm again, this is final. This isn't final, so it's just something that I thought of.
I love how much you modern gamers hate that there's falling damage. That always cracks me up.
That there's falling what?
Falling damage here is rated worse than air control.
I would say
stupid.
Well, also not falling damage in the sense of like this is like Spelunker Donkey Kong era falling damage, not just I take something.
Overly aggressive fall damage is what he means.
More than we wanted to let you falling damage, not
like the kind that feels really arbitrary and unfair.
Yeah, not Soul style where it's like the entire game is already built around that.
Yeah.
Or what is another game that has falling damage, but there's a lot of games where falling damage has a gimmick where, like, if you attack before you hit the ground, that you negate everything. It's treated like a double jump.
But also one thing that this game does definitely do is that I would technically consider that level down enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, that just straight up takes your XP, and yeah, that's a pretty bad thing. So far we have 5, and this game doesn't have pixel hunting, so that puts it into D category.
Are you sure it doesn't have pixel hunting?
Yeah.
As much as I mean, I can't object to the age category. People do hate this game, so I don't think it's age.
I would argue that a lot of it comes to the fact that it has the word Zelda in its name.
Yeah.
Right, but so it hasn't aged well because people resent this for being like you opened all this by saying like it went against the Zelda formula, which didn't exist yet.
It's kind of the thing is like it's not what people expected or necessarily wanted.
Also, especially now that people have more access or easier access to older games, like if you're playing Zelda games now, that definitely has a formula.
Right.
Maybe
and
a
I
bit
guess
more or such.
And I'm the outlier where I don't like Zelda 1. I think this is way better than Zelda 1.
Oh, I would agree with you.
I mean, I would agree with you too.
Right. So I always think that's weird that people complain like this wasn't like Zelda, but Zelda 1's not a good game.
Yeah, but Zelda 1's the original, you say.
But it's also not like Link to the Past, it's not like Link's Awakening, it's not like Ocarina of Time.
Also, shitting on Zelda 2 is kind of a meme at this point as well.
It really is. All right, what's... sorry.
So approach.
What does that mean, approach?
So basically, rather than saying like, "Oh, this game is a C," like, "Oh, it's hard, so let's put it E, C, or D, or E," I would say I'm basically saying.
I'd say D.
Yeah, I'm thinking D because I don't think this is necessarily obtuse. It's more difficult than obtuse.
It's difficult, but it gives you all the tools you need.
Yeah. So that's definitely D. Okay. So yeah,
just a right fucker.
Yeah, so that is that's that.
Yay!
Also, since it's the top of the list, do we want to consider this Mastercraft?
No, honestly.
No. I can see why people would use it. You've already mentioned some of your issues with it. It's really good, but I don't think it's Mastercraft.
Okay. Yeah,
that said, it was an interesting take on the formula. It's kind of a shame they never quite did anything like it ever again.
Yeah.
Yes, I would definitely agree there. That I think it would be interesting to see more games that were like this. But games like games like Xanadu are not like this.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Remember your mantra.
Okay.
The hand-to-hand combat is just so good in Zelda 2 compared to a lot of the other games that try to do this.
Yep. So yeah, that was Zelda 2. Also, we were wondering if this is our longest episode. The timer I have is 3 hours 50 minutes, so that's around 3.5 hours, which is around normal length.
I mean, it's not 12 hours.
It isn't 12 hours.
So you're gonna split it in 8 videos before you upload it to YouTube to maximum monetize?
No.
Split it all into 15-minute segments.
That requires effort. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. So thank you all for watching.
Hey, thanks for streaming.
And that's going to be it for that episode. Yeah.
Maybe we should have a spreadsheet how many times Lolo cheated.
That's impossible to track.
Yeah, I don't think the beginner goes.
Just get a time wizard counter going.
This is meant to be an informative, casual playthrough just to take a look at the game. I'm never saying that I'm actually good.
By being a time wizard.
Lolo's got his toy machine.
We believe you could actually beat the game, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, I have physical evidence that I could actually beat this game.
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah. I have my cartridge to my right of me, and also I could go find my disc of it too.
Oh wow! Just listening to the Popeye noise always cracks me up.
The Popeye noise?
When he goes, "Yep."
I was getting kind of Zoidbergy at some point. But yes. So there is going to be also an episode tomorrow.
Ooh, is that a raid?
Thank you, Oozworm, for hosting me for 26 viewers as I close the stream out.
Damn it!
Yeah, we're just shutting down.
What is you people?
Well, you are.
Well, I guess that means I'm going to pass this on to someone else. If you would like to keep up to date with Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can follow me on Twitter at LoloThePuzzlo, or join my Discord server by going to the URL discord.ldp.life. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stop by again.